Welcome to Let's Talk Jets Radio.
Mr. Primetime.
Every one of you that commented on my Mike McCagnon video are a bunch of jerks. But other than that, happy Tuesday. Let's have a show.
See, you know what? And out of respect to you, out of respect to my good friend, I didn't even do a film breakdown because I didn't want to give more attention to it. I tried to back off and let just the dust settle.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what it was. After you lit the fire.
I don't know what you're talking about. Listen, man, you're going to hold me accountable, but I'm being respectful. We're trying to encourage a positive environment here. Those takes were outdated. We can't hold it against Kevin now. We've all moved on in greener pastures, right?
Yeah, I guess that's what I'm going to say.
What's up, everybody?
I didn't realize how bad that video was until I watched it again. I was like, holy shit.
Hey, man, I got some doozies out there, too. That's why, you know what? It's fine, but we can't. And it was funny because when we get notifications when somebody posts a comment, all I saw was McCagnon.
One after the other. Yep. As soon as we ended, one after the other, didn't stop.
What's up, Nick? Hope you and Rachel are doing well. Hope everybody's doing great. A lot of mock drafts out there, a lot of Notre Dame talk. I mean, it's just all over the place right now. So it's mock drafts are crazy. What's up, Balls? What's up, Trav?
What's up,
everybody's
guys?
doing well. A lot of Legend. You want to talk to Legend? Legend's on break tonight. Legend's he's had a rough couple of days. So good to see everybody. If you guys, I gotta share the link. I didn't do that yet. I'm a little off my game this evening. Yeah, it's my bad. It's a call-in show, and you can't call in without a link. Yeah, I got it right here. There's that. So you guys can call in, ask whatever you want. Pretty much open topic at this point. You got draft, you got free agency, you got Becton earning his spot. You got the whole Berrios thing, how much he's worth. You got
Berrios thing is fascinating, man.
Whew, some hot takes out there for him, man. What's up to Ryan and Melanie? And thank you to Ryan, man. Ryan's been a huge help. I'm doing a fundraiser, and Ryan actually designed my logo. He's been super, super helpful. Also, Jason, too. Jason Coppell. He's been helping me a ton, man. So thank you to both you guys. Yeah, the Berrios thing is funny. I did a video on that, man. And some people are saying, pay him up to $9 million. Some are saying give him $3 or $4 million, let him walk. We don't care. Some are saying he's a great receiver or best route runner. Some say he's replaceable. It's wild, dude.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, like, you got to weigh the risk and reward as far as a player that I feel like has earned it. He's respected in the locker room. He clearly fits the system. You want to have some chemistry going into next year, a familiar face for Wilson. But like you always mentioned, I mean, is he doing a job that Elijah Moore can do? Is there a place for both of them on the field at the same time? And if so, I mean, you got Corey Davis also. Are you adding another receiver? Do you have a place for all four receivers? You know, like a lot of questions you got to figure out.
Well, you figure if you have Corey Davis, Elijah Moore, we all agree you're going to draft somebody or sign somebody fairly high or prominent. That's three receivers. You're going to be paying your fourth receiver, in theory, $9 million a year, $8 million a year. You're probably not going to do that. Yep. You know, and I respect him, but if you look at the numbers, though, and I know we all talk numbers here, but he had, 46 catches? Of the 46, 20 of them were in the last 4 games of the year because Moore and Corey Davis, all the guys were out. He was pretty much the only option at that point.
But again, though, is that what his potential is? So are those 4 games, if you did that over 16 games, is he an 80-catch receiver? Because if he is,
if Elijah Moore's on the field, is he even getting those opportunities?
But can Berrios play the slot with Elijah Moore on the outside? I mean, I don't see why that's not impossible. I mean, they had Elijah Moore on the outside for most of last year.
I think it's an interesting conversation, man. Like, I don't hate Berrios. I like him. You know, it's just the value. And you get the proper return on your investment. You know, what is his value on the free market? Somebody, blow doors off him? I don't know.
I think the only way I would be disappointed is if somebody offers him like a reasonable contract somewhere in that, $6 to maybe $7 million a year range, and the Jets choose just not to match it, or at least put the offer out there somewhere in that vicinity. That's the only way I think I'd be a little disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, I think you make him a fair offer. Say, listen, we're going to offer you whatever, And the whole thing is, you can put all the flashy numbers out there all you want. It comes down to guaranteed money. So if you say, listen, 4 years, $30 million, but we're going to guarantee you $25 million. All right, we can talk about that. But make it a fair offer. And then if he comes back and somebody says, we're actually going to give him $8 million a year, but then,
I don't even think they would have to guarantee him anywhere near $25 million. I mean, if his contract is going to be in the vicinity of like 20 to 30, the guarantees could fall somewhere between like 12 and 15. And I think that would be somewhat fair. That way they can get out of it after, 2 years if he's not living up to the potential.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a fascinating debate. I talked to, Joel Corey. I asked him again. He's like, he thinks the same thing. He's like in the $5.5 million range. That's what he thinks he is. Even what's his face, Lee J. Duzable said the same thing today too. $5 million, $6 million player. And that's kind of the max. That's where you got to go. And then at some point, it's like, and the whole narrative about you got to keep your own, we understand it, but you got to get good value. And you're like, because you have cap space, can't mean you just spend blindly either, though.
But do you think it sends a bad message to the locker room for a player that, for the most part, has earned it? I mean, he went to the Pro Bowl, I know, as a special teams guy, but when he did get the chance as a receiver, he looked the part, and he clearly fits the system. He's versatile. Yeah, but I'm saying, like, he's versatile. He could do different things on the field. You got him in motion. You got the end arounds and all shit like that. So, like, there's multiple ways that you can use it. So I don't feel like, so I don't feel like one player like Elijah Moore coming back should mean, all right, now Berrios can't see the field.
He could see the field, but not for $8 million a year, $9 million a year. He could see the field. He could see it at our rate or go somewhere else. And then if we go out, if we go out and sign a receiver and draft the receiver, we have 2 more receivers in the mix. How much? I mean,
we have depth. And as we saw this year, Corey Davis getting hurt, Moore got hurt a couple times. You need to have depth. I don't want Zach Wilson out there without any targets.
I'm not paying a depth guy $9 million a year.
But he might not just be a depth guy. You already know he's going to be your returner. So that, I mean, that's one check. So $3-4 million just for a returner is fine. Right. We made the case for Andre Roberts, and Berrios is younger, and he still has that potential as a receiver. So why not?
So I'll give him $5 or $6 million a year.
And even Corey Davis. Let's be honest on Corey Davis. He's got 1 year guaranteed on his contract, and then after next year, if he's injured again, if he's not living up to the hype, he's probably gone too. And then where are we at? Elijah Moore and who else?
Well, the 2 guys you signed this year, the draft, the free agent and the draft,
and hopefully they pan out.
Yeah, hopefully, man. This is just it's going to be interesting, man. There are so many interesting decisions you got to make with this team. What's up, Abby? What's up, all you guys? I feel like I haven't talked to you guys in a while. I mean, Snoopy is not a fan of Berrios. Obviously, he says you can draft a rookie to do what Cheerios does.
Maybe.
Could be. It's just Coach, everybody's got their thing. So we'll go. The chat is in rare form already. You can tell it's the off season here. Let's see. We will go to Chris. What's up, man?
Yo, what's going on, fellas? How you doing today?
Better question is, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. Hey, good thing the free agency and the draft is only a week away, so we don't have to do this for a couple months, right?
Well, free agency is like what, March 16th? We still got another month.
But yeah,
I think that was sarcasm.
I think, yeah, that totally just went right over your head.
You know what? To be honest with you, Chris,
I got you, Chris.
I'm already now. It's February 8th. I already hate mock drafts. I already hate pretty much every article out there. Like I'm like kind of tuning it out because like it's just so premature. Yeah. Like and the further thing is, it's just like free agency should be the most important thing we're talking about right now because you got to see what you do in free agency. A lot of times dictates what happens in the draft.
Exactly.
If you go out, you know, what I mean, it's just wild, dude.
Yeah. People get more clicks that way. Mock draft 2.0, 3.0, 4.0, and after free agency, they start the 5.0, 6.0. It just keeps going.
Yep. I just have a sneaky suspicion that we're going to trade for Cooper for no other reason other than the fact is I could just see you, Tyson, on the stream be like, come on, Cooper, what are we doing here? Like, I could just see it. I could see it already.
I like Amari Cooper.
So.
Isn't he making like $20 million a year? Something like that.
Yeah, I saw something. I guess his number for this year is actually somewhat reasonable. So, yeah, and like a lot of people seem to think like we didn't really have to give up that much to get him. And I think I read somewhere today that there's talking about somebody, I don't know if it was a Cowboys beat writer that thinks that they're gonna cut Amari Cooper, and I think it was DeMarcus Lawrence was the other one.
They got all kinds of cap problems in Dallas, New Orleans. But I think if you cut him, he's still going to want.
Though. The cap is such a sham.
It is, but I mean, I think if Amari Cooper gets cut, he's still going to want that $20 million a year contract.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Get it?
I mean, it'd be nice, like if they really are going to cut him, they'll be willing to take like a pick, and if that's a 4th round pick or something like that, we have that money to take on that contract and be a nice alternative, especially we don't know what we have with Corey Davis. We hope he'll be better and actually know how to catch some balls and stuff coming this year. But
here's a question for you. Would you rather trade for Amari Cooper or Calvin Ridley?
I mean, you feel like beating a dead horse with this. I mean, you hope Calvin Ridley, the mental health stuff checks out. But then I think like you're going to have that worry, like, what if he gets in a bad spot again? Like, is he gonna do that stuff here, and then just want to go somewhere else, where then the return on your investment is going to be a lot different, because we might be able to get Cooper because of his salary for like a 4th round pick. We're definitely not getting Calvin Ridley for,
I think Cooper's going to cost more than that, though. I mean, he's still a top end receiver.
Yeah, no, I agree.
With that contract, though, I'm not sure you're going to find a lot of teams willing to take on that contract, though.
Look, Cowboys give up how much to get him? They give up like 1st round picks to get him, didn't they?
Yeah, but is he still worth that?
I think he's still top notch, man.
I don't know. I feel like CD kind of took some of that steam, but you know what? They're kind of in a bind too, because like even if they let him go, then you're relying on CD and then what behind him? Gallup, he's still injured, and that was late in the year.
And you got to pay Schultz.
Yeah, and he might be out of there. You don't know about that yet.
I don't know how realistic.
I think a lot of people said franchise tag for him, but
I don't know how realistic. I would love if Jerry Jeudy became available, because I know they already paid Sutton. I think they paid Patrick already. So they already got some weapons that they're giving a lot of money to. So if Jeudy became available, I'd be all about that.
Yeah, I loved him going into that draft too. Like,
me too.
His routes are so clean. To have such a clean route runner with him, and then more on the other side, like that could be something
a lethal
else.
combo. I'd love that.
It'd be real nice.
But I do have something to say. I see that Tyrone is not here, so if you guys want to relay this message to him, or if he sees this, first props to him for wanting to get like his health in check and stuff like that. I'm kind of on the same boat. Got the wedding coming up in like 5 months, so try and eat a lot cleaner myself. Cut down on the snacks. Cut down on the bad food.
The pizza.
More garlic nuts. Yeah, no more garlic nuts and Sicilian pizzas.
Shit was good though.
Yeah. No, I told Tyson, I'm like, you can trust the fat kid when it comes to food. You won't.
Bro, that pizza was good, man. Woof.
But so I have a proposition for Tyrone. I know he mentioned that he wanted to lose 100 pounds.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Yep.
Holy shit.
And that was by prime time. Correct me if I'm wrong. That was like June 1st or July 1st. Like it was soon. He thought
it was at some point within the year. Yeah, I think it was like 6 to 8 months, something like that. Yeah.
Damn.
So if I will raise this to Tyrone, if he's serious, if Tyrone wants to lose 75 pounds, I will donate $1 per pound lost for Tyrone to either Tyson's cause or whatever cause Tyrone or you guys want that'll benefit. Like, I know you do this stuff at the end of the year for like the toy drive for the kids. Put towards that. Whoa. If Tyrone meets the goal of 75, we'll even say 75 pounds by the end of summer. If he wants to do that, if he does 75 pounds, I will donate $100.
Whoa.
There you go. There you go.
So,
look at this.
So,
Challenging Tyrone.
Some extra motivation. There we go.
Yep. Some extra motivation. So, helping yourself. I'm kind of in the same boat. I'm doing it for myself too. But, to have that extra motivation that you're, either helping, whether if it's mental health or, kids come Christmas time, get presents. So Tyrone, it's up to you.
That's a challenge,
kids, baby. Do it for the kids.
That's a good challenge right there. That's impressive.
And while we're at it, I know Tyson, you're a little bit modest, so you won't, be begging everybody to do it. But, to everybody else that's watching this chat, we always have this platform to come on and shoot the shit with these guys, bust balls on each other. What Tyson's doing is a really cool thing, really hard thing. So he's trying to raise some money, help him out, open up those wallets if you can. I know times are tough for a lot of people, but a couple bucks
appreciate it
right there. So like I said, mine will be on, paydays Friday. So I'll throw some support.
No, I appreciate it, man. Thank you very much. Well, Chris, first of all, thank you for a great time in PA, man. I had a blast the concert, and the pizza was phenomenal. We're going to be doing a man cave thing with you too soon. So
absolutely,
better dust everything off.
Tyson, yeah, no, definitely needs that. Tyson knows a couple of the additions that were just thrown up. So be really happy to show off some of the other stuff in detail. Have some cool, funny stories with some of the other stuff. So yeah, it'd be nice to be able to show it off to you guys and everybody in the chat and that watches your channel, and to know it'd be appreciated, because I could brag about it to the fiance, but she doesn't give a shit. She's an Eagles fan. So.
Chris, thanks for calling in, man, and we will spread the word to Tyrone as well.
All right, take care, guys. See you next week.
Good stuff, man. Have a good night.
His man cave is insane, dude. It's so nice. It's like, geez. So Appreciate the
Wish I
kind
felt
words
like
from him. Then we got to spread the word to Tyrone. He's going to want to lose 100 pounds for real? I missed that?
Yeah. You missed it.
Really?
Glad you watched the show.
Oh,
We spent 3
all right.
hours doing.
I mean, I don't do 3-hour shows. That's we got here. Off topic. Am I the only Jet fan who watches Bengal fans' reaction videos and fantasizes how it'll be us one day? You're not alone, man.
Nope.
It's cool to see it. And it's funny because good.
No, I was gonna say I'm watching Salah and Middleton on the fucking float at the Senior Bowl. I'm thinking about the Super Bowl parade just from watching that. So I think we're all watching all these these hype videos of fans going crazy, just thinking when is it going to be our time?
Well, it's funny. The one writer today said they're going back reminiscing. They said the Eagles parade was the wildest parade they've ever seen. I'm like, you haven't seen nothing. Like the Jets parade will be epic. It'll be a week party, if not longer. It'll be the biggest parade ever, the most chaos ever, unprecedented nonsense. Won't even be close.
The whole week.
So yeah. So yeah, thank you to Chris again. We'll definitely spread the word to Tyrone. Thank you too. I met him for the concert. We had a blast. So that was cool. The pizza was so good prime time. It was garlic knot pizza. So it was like a garlic knot crust.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Dude. Oh my God. It was so good.
No flop?
No flop?
Yeah,
What do you mean flop?
Like the pizza reviews. When you
Oh,
pick it up,
should
is it
have.
flop or is it nice and sturdy?
It was 30, dude. It was
All right,
so
there you
good,
go.
man.
That's a good
It was
pizza.
so good. Let's see what we got here. See, Sam, I'm not going to react to Primetime's McHackney video out of respect to Primetime. I think you guys done enough damage to him. So now it's we all move on and embrace positivity now.
Yeah.
So that's where we're at. I'll share the link in case you guys want to come on and join us.
If you guys have
Got
any
some-
whiteboard ideas for me to do, so I can maybe put that video in the past and do something a little bit more productive, let me know.
Yes, sir. So we will go. If you want to talk Becton, you want to talk, Berrios, free agency draft, whatever you want. Just want to talk Knicks, you want to talk the horrible Nets, whatever you want to talk about.
I saw the Nets were down 28-2 before we started. I think that was the score.
Who's even playing for them right now?
They got nobody because it's a home game, so no Kyrie. Harden's on the way out.
Wish Julius Randle's on the way out. So we're gonna go to Bubs. What's up, man?
Hello. Thanks for having me
What's
on.
up, man?
Of course, man.
Yeah, I actually got the Nets game on now. They're losing 53-30.
Oof.
So,
Gross.
I'll tell you what.
Man.
I also want to get to Barrios, but I'm a Net fan. I know you guys are Knicks fans, but New York basketball right now is making New York football look good. It is
It's making
bad.
hockey look even better.
Yeah, it's not good. It's really ugly. But anyway, I wanted to get to Barrios. I know a lot of people were talking about it. But like I'm probably in the same boat as you guys, around 5 to 6 million-ish. I wouldn't give him a ton because you do get Corey Davis back. Hope that he could stay healthy. Obviously, Elijah Moore, whatever else you do in the draft, and then free agency. But like I know beginning part of the season he wasn't as effective. With everyone healthy and stuff, he wasn't as effective like you guys were saying. But I think one of the key parts of having the success late in the season was he was really able to build a connection, really able to build chemistry with Wilson. And I think that's pivotal going into next season if we do bring him back, because Corey Davis only, didn't play much. Elijah Moore was on and off the field. I feel like the final couple weeks, the final 4 or 5 weeks of the season for Wilson to really build that chemistry and build that connection with him was huge. And if you can bring him back, not for a crazy amount, not like an amount for a number one receiver or a big time contract, but if you can bring him back in the range of 5 to 6 million, I think it would be a good decision. And you guys also said too, he's already, bring him as a kick returner, and then, whatever he does with the receiving and whoever else we bring in. But I kind of want to ask this question, like I know it's so hard because there's so many options, but out of all the receiver options out there, like what are the maybe 1 or 2 or 3 guys that you really would love to see? I mean, I know Devontae Adams is a dream and all that, but the realistic possibilities.
I mean, you got a lot to. So you're talking about free agency or the draft? Free agency, right?
Yeah, free agency.
Yeah, Pronto, you can go first if you want.
I'd be fully on board with a guy like DJ Shark. That's somebody that I really like. The Calvin Ridley potential trade. I think that intrigues me, depending on how much you'd have to give up. But I think it's got to be somebody in the mold of a young player that's going to be here for a couple of years, or at the very least, a guy like Ridley who you feel comfortable extending. Whether or not they feel comfortable with that, I don't really know. I think the draft might be something that they look at as well. I know a lot of people are talking about like Treylon Burks and guys like that, possibly at 10, or maybe even trading down and taking somebody like a Drake London or somebody like that. I think all those names are possibilities. I think more likely than not, they're probably going to go through the draft before they would consider making a trade for somebody, and then maybe look to trade future draft assets to get somebody. But I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm curious to see who actually hits the market. Like for me, like a guy on Allen Robinson, I've just been a fan of him for a long time. What he would command in free agency, like what is he looking for? Can he get a 1-year deal, 3-year deal? Does Chris Godwin even make it to the market, or does Tampa Bay keep him? Primetime already mentioned. You mentioned DJ Chark, Christian Kirk. There's like different tiers. Like Devontae Adams is the top guy. Amari Cooper becomes available. Michael Thomas, another guy, is he going to become available? Who knows? There's a lot of splashy names, but for some reason, I think the Jets aren't going to go for the splashy guys. They're going to go for like that second tier guy and maybe draft somebody. So if you can get Kirk and then draft the guy, that's two good pieces to the puzzle. And then hope that Elijah Moore takes off.
Yeah,
it's gonna be interesting.
I heard the rumor too about Kyler Murray unfollowing all the stuff. So you wonder what Kirk and the rest of that roster. Yeah,
he cleansed his social media of the team. But it's just what approach did Jets want to take? Do they want to make that big splash at wide receiver, or do they get lesser pieces at wide receiver and spend big money at tight end? Like they got to put a priority at one position. I'm just not sure what they're going to do. You can make a case. I may make that case that tight end's a lot more important right now. We don't have any. We have none.
Yeah. So, tight end's definitely our biggest need. But the Allen Robinson, he's a guy I've looked at even last season. And I've always said about Allen Robinson, like he's a really solid receiver, but the situation he's been in there with all the quarterbacks to Foles, to Dalton, to Fields, like it's been such a mess. You can bring him under consistent like quarterback, have Wilson, Young, second season and bring in out Robinson and then to build that connection, and continue to build over the years. Hopefully Wilson's the guy. I think that would be a good fit. And, Douglas, we've seen so far, he's not one to go out and spend the top money. He's got to build through the draft and get a couple, free agents here and there and hope that the young guys step up and play well. And
I think Robinson, if they somehow ended up getting him, that could have a similar impact when they got Marshall, where, he was coming in off a down year or two, and they got him, I think, for like a 5th round pick, if my whiteboard was correct. So yeah, you can get him probably at low value. I don't think he's going to sign a huge contract coming off the down year. He might actually want to sign for relatively cheap so that he can sign that longer term contract after if he has a big year.
Yeah. One quick Nick question. What did you guys like? You guys, are you fans of Thibodeau?
I was a big fan of him last year. It almost feels like he's losing a pulse of the team right now. Like the Reddish stuff I thought was interesting. They make the move for him and now he's not really playing at all. It seems like he's almost tiptoeing around the Julius Randle stuff a little bit. I'm not really sure.
Yeah. He'll be Toppin.
What are your thoughts on? Even Toppin, I don't know why they're not playing him more either.
Yeah, the Toppin's thing's weird. Like 8th overall pick and you only played him 12 minutes. That doesn't really make sense. Barrett's
and a lot of time when he's out there too, he's looking pretty good.
Yeah, Toppin's an incredible athleticism, obviously, but the basketball is not very good. Hopefully, Jets can turn around. And you guys are saying too about the parade. One last thing, like I can't wait till that day happens. And like I've watched the amount of Bengals fans' reactions I've watched and that's why I'm rooting for them. Like I think the story's great. Everything that loyal fan base, everything that organization has went through over the years. What was 31 years since the last playoff win or something? Yeah. Like when that day comes, it's gonna be awesome. So
it's gonna be epic.
I agree, man. Thanks for calling, man. We appreciate it.
Yep. Thanks for having me on.
Have a good night, man.
You know what happens? I did this Microsoft update on my laptop, and now there's a timer. It keeps kicking off my internet at the same time, like every day now. I don't know why. It logs me off of everything. Microsoft, well done.
You and Tyrone with technology, man.
Bro, this isn't me, man. Like it's a brand new laptop. Like I try to do the updates. It's just now I got pause on my updates.
So don't do the updates. You don't got to do updates.
Yeah, all the firewall stuff. I don't know, man. It's just DJ Chark's interesting guy. Christian Kirk. It's just, but prime time. Do you think they go big game hunting in terms of wide receiver? Do they chase these big names? Like if Amari Cooper comes out, or do they, they do their show interest but don't really make a legitimate effort to get the guy.
I think I'd be relatively surprised if they ended up getting one of the bigger name receivers. And I'm talking about anybody that would cost over, I don't know, like $14-15 million a year. I'm not really expecting that. I kind of agree with what you said. If they're going to make an investment as far as a weapon on the offensive side, I think it's more likely to be a tight end than it is a receiver.
Yeah, and it's an enormous need, man. It's just it's a glaring hole for years now.
Yep.
So what's up, everybody? Glad to see everybody's joining us. We appreciate it, especially off season when it's just getting a little slow and everybody's doing the same shit. Stream a Knicks game. Do you want to see us curse for 3 hours? That's all we're gonna do.
I think that's exactly what they want to see.
Yeah, I can't even deal with the Knicks, man. I just can't deal with them. I don't have the energy for them. I'm tired of Randall. I'm tired of bad basketball. I'm tired of like the young guys not playing. It's just.
I was starting to get a little optimistic with him. Like, when he did that thing, when he walked through the bench, I think it was against Memphis. I was like, all right, he's standing up for Quickly, who got picked on a little bit during the game. Like, all right, he's trying to show some leadership. And then you see the clip during the Laker game where he flips off the whoever the assistant was with the laptop. I'm like, come on, dude, you can't be doing that shit.
No,
it's a terrible look. His body language is awful.
Michael Gallup is an interesting guy. But he's coming off a major injury. So when will he be ready? Ready to play? The Jets are talking about, they don't want injured players. What's his value going to be? Now everybody's taking shots at me now. I'm updating from 93.95.
Are you still using AOL Instant Messenger too back there?
Yeah, man. Devils and Jets fan here. 20 years combined of bad hockey and football. I'm with you, man. I'm a Devils fan too. And you throw in the Knicks. It's like it's just bad.
See, at least you had your run with the Devils, though. At least you got to experience some championships with the Yankees. I have one Stanley Cup in 1994 where I was 6 years old and I couldn't even appreciate it. That's all I got.
Yeah. Everybody's taking shots at me, man. I don't have the strength to deal with you guys just right now. All right, we're gonna go to Joe. Joe, what's up, man?
What's up, boys? How you doing?
How you doing,
what's
man?
Up, Joe?
All right. So after I got off last week, there was a few comments from the peanut gallery over on the right.
I thought your call was phenomenal last week.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it wasn't like they said anything crazy. It was more like they kind of took as what I was saying as I was saying. Like, I don't think like the offense line is important. Like, I'm a firm believer. Like, you win the game with the line of scrimmage, both sides of the ball. It's the most important thing of the team. But there's this like idea out there that like if your offensive line, your defensive line are great, like nothing else matters. You'll win no matter what. It doesn't matter what you do. Like, you're just going to dominate teams and you'll win. And that's not the truth. And our offensive line, if you look back at it, that was our best unit last year. Like, we were ranked. I'm not big on Pro Football Focus, but like they had us ranked 11th in the
second
NFL.
Half of the year.
You watch the games. Like, everyone that watched the games, everyone was saying the offensive line looks decent. Van Roten was terrible. We swapped him out. Offensive line looked okay. And Beckham wasn't on the field. And my problem is like you only have so many assets to go around, and you're going to go out and like already a pretty strong unit. I understand we have to bring in a guard. Like, that's fine. But already a pretty strong unit. You're going to sink all of these assets into the offense line, especially on defense. We have 4 guys from last year.
Well, hold on.
Yeah.
I mean, so the offensive line, you're saying all these resources. What all these resources are we talking about? Number 4 pick in the draft?
No, like we have I wouldn't put the number 4 pick in the draft into it, especially if you're taking Neal. People forget these guys are humans. Neal played left guard when he was a freshman in Alabama. When he was 18 years old, probably 30 pounds lighter, not as tall, not as big, not as long. When look up the tallest guys in the NFL, the entire list is offensive tackles. It's for a reason. When you're playing guard, you have to take on these 6'1" little Aaron Donalds. They're going to get up in your chin strap and just bully you off the line. When you're 6'8", like Neal is, you have these long arms. It's hard to do that. Like, you're advantageous to offensive tackle when you can get wide, you can get long, you can get on these long defensive ends, you can get out on their arms. So you're going to take a kid that looks very comfortable at tackle. You're going to push him inside to guard where he isn't comfortable. Let him struggle. Or like people that are saying take him at 4 as insurance for Becton. You're going to spend the 4th fucking pick on the draft on insurance? Are you kidding me? That's ridiculous.
So what lineman would you take it for?
I wouldn't take any lineman at 4. I would address the defense. I don't think you need to take a lineman at 4. I don't think.
Would you draft a line? Where would you draft a lineman at?
3rd round, probably. I'd sign one, honestly. I would probably sign one. And you could load up with a 3rd and a 4th rounder. But I would sign a guard. I'd try my best to bring back Moses. And the person saying like game's won in the trenches. Yeah, the game is won in the trenches, but our offensive line was solid last year. The game is also won with a legitimate wide receiver 1. with safeties that could cover over the
So
top.
wait,
You could actually play aggressive.
like I'm this notion that this offensive line was solid is kind of mind-boggling to me a little bit because I think it was average at best, and in terms of average, I'd like to have it above average. So now with your offensive line, are you having Becton at left tackle or right tackle?
Whatever they think is best, whatever they feel
in
most
your world,
comfortable
what do
with.
you have?
What?
In your world, where does he play?
In my world, it depends on what kind of shape he comes into. If you think he can get through the season, I would put him at left tackle, and I would dominate teams on the left side of the ball. And like I think he
goes
probably
to the right.
can get through a season. And I moved Fant over to the right. Like Fant also, he was pretty good in 2019 on the right side, and yeah, he had a bad first half on the right side in the first game this year. But he was playing the left side for like the entirety of camp because Becton was hurt. Becton had like a week and a half in camp where he played. So when you go from playing the left side all of camp, and you get a week of practice to work on the right side again, and you get thrown in an NFL game, you're probably going to struggle in the first half a little bit. Like I think he's capable of playing on the right side and being very solid.
So you're going to say,
Okay.
no, I'm trying to figure out your lineup. So you're going to have Becton, Vera Tucker. You're okay with McGovern coming off injury at center?
Yeah.
Then right guard is who?
Is a free agent, bringing a kid in the third round, bringing a kid in the fourth round, and let him compete. I would bring back.
Let me ask you that: would you feel okay with a guy like Kwanu, maybe, like who has a little bit more versatility to move inside?
I would feel okay with it. I trust them in the first round of the draft. They've done pretty well. Like Vera Tucker was a good pick. Becton, he's been hurt, but he's a very good football player. And Elijah Moore is basically a first round pick, and he's very good. So I trust their talent evaluation. I just don't think we need to sink it into a guard. I don't know much about Quentin. I know he's a big guy and he's very powerful. I haven't seen him play much. I don't watch much NC State. I don't just sit there and watch film on offensive linemen. I couldn't tell you, but what I can tell you is we had the 32nd ranked defense in the NFL last year. We don't have a wide receiver.
What's more important to me? The most important thing is this year going into it. Well, I understand that the problems with the defense. The most important thing is to have Zach Wilson play at a much better level and to be able to run the ball effectively week in and week out. Do you agree with that?
Yes. I thought we ran the ball effectively week in, week out last year. I thought we ran the ball fine last year. And I thought when the quarterback came in and played well last year, did their job, they didn't throw 5 picks, they didn't look like shit, they weren't worm-burning screens into the ground, the offense looked fine. We were capable of putting 24 points up when the quarterback did his job. And, like, I don't think – the only time we had a ton of injuries, when we had McDermott playing left tackle, yes, the offensive line looked like shit. He was getting killed. The plan shouldn't be for McDermott to play left tackle, so I'm not concerned about that. I think when the quarterback did his job last year, Josh Johnson did his job, he played fine. Mike White did his job. When Zach Wilson did his job, the offense looked good. Like, it looked fine. We put up points. And yes, our run game was solid. Abby.
So now, so you're going to go. You make one move on the offensive line, so you improve the right guard. Everybody else kind of stays there. You hope that you get a healthy Becton back. Then on defense, how do you address the defense? Where you're prioritizing that?
I'm prioritizing the fact that we have 4 guys for next year that legitimately should come in the next year and be like, all right, he's a starter for us. Like Quentin Williams, John Franklin Myers, CJ Mosley, and Bryce Hall. And Carl Lawson's coming off an injury. Like, I would not bank on that dude to 100% PR starter. You cannot go into the year with 4 NFL starting caliber players on your defense.
Well,
I think we need to correct that.
Hold on. So let's start with the defensive line first. So that's what Salah's supposedly his defense is built on, the pass rush and defensive front. So you have Quentin Williams, John Franklin Myers. Those are 2 guys that are supposed to be legitimate, right, guys. Yeah. Then you add Carl Lawson to that mix. That's 3 legitimate guys. What are you doing with Fatukasi?
I'm not bringing Fatukasi back. I don't think he fits the defense. He's a nose tackle. We don't use a nose tackle. We had to use a lot of 5-man front last year to fit him in. I think he's a very, very good football player. I think he's a good leader. But I think he'd be better off somewhere we could play nose tackle. He could play his natural fit. We can get him more athletic, dynamic defense tackle. I'm also cutting Rankins. Like, we owe him $9 million next year. We save $9 million next year if we cut him. I'm cutting him.
Okay. So you're going to cut all those guys. Are you going to sign more defensive linemen? Are you going to draft them? What are you going to do? If you cut, because Nathan Shepard could be gone too. You got a lot of guys going to be gone now.
I would, like I said before, you have Huff still. I like Huff. Again, you can't bank on him to be your starter. You probably need 2 edges. I would sign one and I would draft one. If Thibodeau's there at 4, you take him. I know everyone hates this, but if Thibodeau's not there at 4, I'm taking Hamilton. Like, I think that dude's a freaking beast, and I think he can change the defense.
I'm trying to understand your mindset. Listen, and like I'm trying to figure out. So you're saying that At 4, your priority is going to be a defensive player. That's what you're going at.
Yeah. At 10, you can look offense. You look for a wide receiver. You think there's a wide receiver that's really good there. If you like a lineman at 10, go lineman at 10. I don't think we need to spend a top 5 pick on it.
But you're going to take at 4, you would take a safety over a need like offensive lineman or pass rusher.
Because he's the better player. He's the best player there. And he's so dynamic. And our safeties are shit. And a safety can change your defense. Look at the teams in the last 8 teams in the NFL playoffs. Every single best defensive back on that team was a safety outside of Jalen Ramsey. Every single one. You can go through them. Like a safety helps your team. This idea that a safety doesn't do shit. Like people like to crap on Jamal Adams. He's not that good right now. But when he was on the Jets, he was a 2-time All-Pro. How many All-Pros have we had in your years of watching? He was a 2-time All-Pro as a second and third year player. I watched him single-handedly beat the Giants by himself. He was a great player for us, and we got 2 first-round picks back for him. And if you look back at the draft, outside of Mahomes and Watson, like who was there you would have picked that was a better player?
But here's the question, though. Is there a chance if you don't take Hamilton at 4, he'd still be there at 10?
It's very far away from the draft, so you don't know. If it were today, I don't think so. And I would
say that about almost any guy in this top 10, though, other than maybe Thibodeau and Hutchinson. If you don't take them at 4, there's a chance they might be there at 10 for almost anybody. There's really no consensus top 10 right now.
But who would you reach on instead? Like I said, you would take Neal and shove him in at guard where he probably isn't best fit, or take him as insurance for
no. If you're going to make offensive line the priority, you're Joe Douglas, whoever he deems the best lineman at number 4, he's going to probably have to pick at a litter at that point. You take him. If that's what you say, that's the guy I want, then we say, okay, listen, that's his. He got Vera Tucker. So
what's the point in having 3 very good tackles and nothing else on your team?
I'm just saying, listen, I don't know. I mean, I want to upgrade the offensive line. I'm not the Beckham thing to me is concerning. Then it's you have Fant here already. Morgan Moses is probably going to be gone. I mean, Primetime, what do you think?
Where Joe really got me thinking last week, and Tyson, you and I have been on the same page as far as building around Zach, making sure he has every available resource possible. But where Joe really got me thinking last week was that if you look at what Burrow did, and Herbert did as rookies, right? Zach Wilson right now is nowhere close to that. And you even agree with that, right? Okay. Now, he has the skills to get there, but right now he's nowhere close to that. So in all likelihood, the Jets are still several years away. So for right now, as far as building his confidence, is it better to have him in these, 35, 31 games where he's slinging the ball around, putting up stats, but not winning, or having a defense that can shut teams down, give him the ball in good field position, keep teams under 20 points? Is that a way to potentially get to winning faster with the dominant defense, a dominant ground game, putting less pressure on him? It's a thought. I mean, I don't necessarily agree with it. I want to give him as much as he can. But if you have best available player at pick 4 and pick 10, and they're both defensive players, edge rusher, and let's say Hamilton falls to 10, would that be a terrible thing to happen? They get both those players?
And a great example of that, New York is tough to play. That kid got dragged last year. I commend him for it. He got dragged for every mistake he made last year. But you look at the Titans game last year. We all forget the fact that he had the ball 3rd and goal on the 1-yard line, and he took a very bad sack when he should have thrown the ball away with a chance to win the game in overtime and score a touchdown. The reason for that is because after we kick a field goal, the defense goes and shuts down the Titans, and we win the game. If our defense was as shitty as it was all year and let him drive down the field and go and score a touchdown, we lose that game. He's getting ripped apart. Your defense can bail your quarterback out. It can make people forget about his mistakes. It can allow him to grow without all the pressure on him.
We all agree that defense has to be better, but I'm not willing to sacrifice the offense being mediocre just make my defense better.
I don't think you're sacrificing the offense to be mediocre.
Listen, I can understand your point. I completely understand it, but then it's if you're not going to the problem I have with draft takes right now is I don't know what we're doing in free agency. So in free agency, if you go out and sign a couple of linemen, you're you know what? Now you have some flexibility at number 4 because you don't need a lineman. You're not pressed to do a lot of different things. So that's too
yeah.
Taking a safety at 4 would be interesting.
I don't think the offense is that far
away.
Who's
to say the offense is going to be mediocre? I mean, if you're bringing most of your players back again next year, year 2 in the system, Zach Wilson's comfortable with LaFleur now. He knows the offense. He knows what's expected of it. Especially if you have Carter and Moore on the field at the same time, which we didn't see last year. If Becton's also back, why couldn't the offense take a step forward, especially if you add a tight end also?
And if you add a real tight end, 2 real tight ends, and a wide receiver 1, or just another wide receiver other than Crowder, the offense can make a step where it isn't mediocre. I think we have the base of talent on this team. I think our offense, we need a wide receiver 1, a guard, 2 tight ends, whatever. Other than that, we need backups on offense where we know if any of these guys go down, We don't have a black hole like Connor McDermott in there killing our quarterback. Our defense, the one silver lining of our defense being so bad last year is like, I'm serious about this. It's going to sound a little weird. We have a lot of very good backups for next year. Like, we have a lot of young kids on cheap contracts.
We lead the league in backups.
On cheap contracts that have legitimate long-term playing experience. They started in NFL games. They played in NFL games. You can send one of those guys in a spot role, and I feel fine. But I think we need 8 starters on defense. I think we need maybe 3 starters on offense. And then we need a lot of depth on offense. I don't think we need that much depth on defense. I think we settle for way too much, like all over this team. I think we justify way too many players. I like Echols. I think he's a decent player. We should not be going into next year with that kid as our clear-cut cornerback one. You couldn't put him on an island like at all. He was going to get burnt if we did.
That's because your defensive line was doing nothing. The corners were the least of my concerns. The defensive line was grossly
I think he did a lot.
underachieved.
I think he did a lot last year to protect that secondary. I don't think
They
sent a lot of
didn't do
pressure.
anything. They gave up 200 yards a game rushing. Their defensive line was horrendous.
And we couldn't stop a 3rd and 20. How many times do we have a 3rd and 20?
You know what?
Linebacker
You got to pressure up the defensive line.
The defensive line needs help. The whole defense needs help. We have 2 starting defense linemen, a linebacker, and a corner. That's what you're going into next year with. And you guys all want to win 7 games. Are you kidding me? You win 7 games with 4 starting NFL players in your defense when you just had an offense that took strides, have guys look like they're getting comfortable. Your quarterback's building chemistry with players. And you're going to rip apart your whole offense, rebuild it, and just leave the 30-second
apart. We're just adding to it. We want to make it be as powerful as possible.
I think we told him when we drafted him we're going to lift him up, not the other way around, and just loading up this defense and loading up this offense, letting our defense get torched. End of the day, your quarterback determines how good your offense is.
But wait,
you can get as many weapons as you want.
We're not saying the defense can get torched. First of all, how about the coaching staff earns their money and actually coaches the guys up and scheme better? That's the first thing. Secondly, how about guys like Quentin Williams, John Franklin Myers earn their paychecks? There's a lot of other things that can happen. And if you believe in John Franklin Myers, Quentin Williams, Carlos coming back, and CJ Mosley, that's a good nucleus to build around. You have young corners like the young receiver that can get better in year 2. That can have Michael Carter played well. You got Javelin Giddy. All these guys are going to be better. You can add pieces there and be quite fine. And furthermore, if you run the football effectively, guess what? Your defense isn't on the field.
I thought running the ball was the best thing we did last year by a lot. Run defense, pass offense, running the ball. That was the best thing we did last season. And I agree, a running game is important. I'm not saying don't add to the offense. A starting guard, a wide receiver one, and a tight end is nothing to scoff at. Like that's adding a lot to your offense. But I don't think we need to get 7 new players for it. Like
I didn't say 7. I agree with you. Guard, tight end, wide receiver, and probably a running back too.
And like I said, we need backups.
That's fine. I agree with you. I have no problem with that.
Wide receiver 4 or 5. We need legitimate linemen that can go in there and not look like a traffic cone. But like, I think we need to put a lot more attention on this defense than we have. And I don't think Saleh had nearly the players he needed to look anyway decent. I don't. Elijah Riley at safety with Ashton Davis.
Bro, I will never understand the defensive front last year and how poorly they played and got away with it week in and week out. I will never understand it. I can't. Everybody
pressure. We didn't get any pressure off the edge.
I don't understand
in general.
If Quentin Williams is a Pro Bowler, if John Franklin Myers is a $13 million a year player, if all these guys are so great, how are we getting gashed week in and week out?
Are we saying Quentin Williams is a Pro Bowler because he was a number 3 overall pick?
I don't think he's a Pro Bowler.
I'm just saying.
I just said he's a starter. I didn't say that these guys are Pro Bowlers or they're great. I said they're NFL starters. That was all I was saying about those 4 players.
Okay.
Look good enough to put on the field and be like, all right, that guy could play as a starter for us. We don't have to worry about it.
But you agree.
That's why we need to add to it.
I agree we have to add to it, but will you agree? Listen, I agree with you. The defense has to improve. You got to add pieces to it. You got to add pieces all over this team. But can you at least agree that Quentin Williams, John Franklin Myers, a lot of those guys' defensive line have to play a lot better this year? We can't just get past last year. No, they have to be better. Especially for the Patriots.
I don't defend it. I'm not a guy that defends that defensive line. I think the whole defense was dog shit. I thought it was disgraceful week in and week out. I was just saying, those are the guys, all right, you bring those 4 guys back at next year's starters. I'm cool with it. Quentin Williams needs to be a game wrecker. If we want this team to be what we want it to be, he needs to be a game wrecker. He hasn't been. He's too inconsistent. He flashes, he dominates a game,
I agree.
And then he disappears for 4 weeks, and he comes back.
And if you put another edge opposite Carl Lawson, I think that gives him the best chance to do that.
Yes, and if you put corners that can hold their own, you put safeties that allow you to play single high where you can put 8 in the box to try to stop the run when you're not stopping the run. You need players all over the field to help the entire defense do their job. We were protecting. we're protecting our safeties. Their safeties are supposed to protect your defense. We had 2 guys that Elijah Riley might not have been rostered on other teams last year if we didn't pick him up and start him.
We had
Like,
9
I mean,
different
when you
safeties last year.
when you lose Joyner so early in the season, man, that was a big blow. They
yes,
counted,
we
on him
got
a lot.
unlucky, but those guys aren't coming back. Like, or maybe
Okay.
they bring Joyner back on a cheap deal. I wouldn't hate that, but like, my point is we can't go into next year with like the guys on our roster right now. Like, we can't have 8 of those guys on defense say they're starters and be happy with it. Like,
No, listen, I completely agree with you. I'm on the same page you are, dude. Like, you need new safeties, you need things. I mean, we value certain players differently, but to me, if we agree that, listen, we need a guard, tight end, wide receiver, running back, if you give me that are like starting caliber, do whatever you want on defense. I don't give a shit. I just don't want to see Zach Wilson running for his life, and I don't want to see us struggling to run the football. That has to be a priority. They have to be able to do more on offense.
yeah, and I agree. Like, if we go in the next year with Croft at tight end, or like if we sign some random like retread to be our 3rd wide receiver in that starting role, like, yeah, that would be a joke. Like, you got to give Jack Wilson a chance, but that doesn't take all that much to fill those 3. Like, that's
We'll see.
3 signings or draft picks or trades like that, and then you're done. And then add some backups, add some quality depth, and then fix this defense. Because like I'm not putting the game on Zach Wilson's shoulders. I don't know what he is yet, and like I want to give him a chance to win games without having to be the best player on the field. Because I don't know if he can be that. Like, honestly, like when I watch him play, like I do a lot to defend him, but like I don't know.
He's got to take a big step, dude. He's got to take a big step this year.
He does have to take a big
He went
step.
through a lot, but while he went through a lot, so did LaFleur, so did Elijah Moore, so did everybody else. I mean, at the end of this year, he was playing well without Corey Davis and Elijah Moore, and Michael Carter got banged up, and he was still doing some good things.
He wasn't.
What the
he
fuck
wasn't
do you want him to do? I mean,
fucking
he went from playing like dog shit to playing okay. So now you go from like playing okay to start playing good. Like, he's got to make that a step of progression this year.
I agree with you. I made this argument, but like I feel like a lot of times when you look at quarterbacks, whenever someone's making $1 million, I feel like we make a lot of excuses for them. And when you hear quarterbacks like the good ones, there are never that many excuses made about them earlier. Never excuses made about Kyler, never about Herbert, never about Burrow. Like, you just watch them, you're like, damn, like he's pretty good.
So what do you do?
And you
So,
move on with it. I feel like with guys, you look at guys like Tua, like you hear 1 million excuses on the internet, 1 million skewed stats to make them look good, all these PFF grades to make them look decent. Like,
yeah, but they're rookies though, dude.
So,
like
but
when
let
Josh
me
Allen
ask
first
you
came out, he played like shit. Like, there's gonna be guys that they have to learn. Some guys are younger than others. Some are less experienced than others. Some didn't face the same level of competition. Some had the world falling around. You had a new coaching staff with all kinds of inexperience, all kinds of chaos on the field going on. And then as they all figured out, they played better. So now the expectation is everybody, the coach, the coordinator, the quarterback, all plays better. Sometimes excuses excuses happen because they're actually factual. Shit was going bad everywhere. You had the fucking coordinator on the field. He should have been on the booth. Guys are getting hurt. I mean, it's a calamity.
So what happens next year if you give Zach Wilson every resource possible? You give him the number 1 wideout. You give him a legitimate tight end. You find another anchor or 2 on the O-line, and he's still in that average range. Don't you think that does more to hurt his confidence and puts more pressure on him?
What happens if he plays
light it
well?
up?
Like,
Absolutely.
Why is it always like the doom and gloom shit?
But I'm not even trying to make it doom and gloom. I'm just trying to say, like, there are multiple ways that we could build this. We can give him the Mark Sanchez treatment and make it a slow process where he has the run game, he has the defense. There's less pressure on him.
Let the fucking kid be a playmaker. Like that, his skill set.
I'm saying,
his skill set is a game-breaking quarterback.
You can find multiple organizations that have found ways to win Super Bowls. You can find Trent Dilfer winning a Super Bowl. You find Brad Johnson. Like, there are multiple ways that you could build this thing and do it.
Yeah, and how many years ago was that? Who's in the Super Bowl this year? 2 high-flying offenses.
Yeah.
What are the Chiefs? High-flying. What are the Bills? High-flying.
Rams have a great
defense.
Yeah,
but like outside of Josh Allen, what was the guy that you watched? And even Josh Allen, he's 6'5", throws the ball 70 yards, and he run you over like a horse. Like, even when he wasn't playing well, you watched him play, and you were like, he has fucking talent. Like, dude, Zach Wilson has done stuff like that too, but like,
it's young.
I don't know.
He's a young player. You're not going to see fucking. The sad thing is, you're not going to see Herbert or Burrow out of Zach Wilson year 1. We've already seen that. So that's why all these comparisons are so fucking.
I'm not trying to compare. I'm just saying, like, I get that. Like, I'm not trying to compare them to those guys. But I'm saying, like, they're usually, like, with Darnold, there was 1 million fucking excuses for 3 years. I was on top of it. 1 million excuses. And he goes to Carolina, and he shows what it is. Sometimes, like, your quarterback lifts your team up a little bit, and, like, it just didn't look as easy or as calm or as comfortable as it should have. I get he was a rookie. I get he was young. My expectations are not crazy high.
He improved drastically as the season went on, though.
He improved from dog shit to okay.
If you don't think Zach wasn't playing solid the last 5 games of the year,
Yeah, he's playing okay.
that's progress. And then now the expectation is, as a young kid that's coming out of fucking BYU, that you know what, now he has time to regroup an NFL offseason with all kinds of coaching, everything's continuity, and takes next step ahead. That's where it is. Like,
So if it's a slow progress,
it is
and
what
you're
it
gonna
is,
give him all
dude.
these
Guess what?
weapons in the
We didn't
world-
draft fucking Joe Burrow. That's a fact. When
I know.
everybody wanted Zach Wilson to come here and be a rock star, superstar week fucking 1, and it didn't happen because what everybody expected took much longer than we anticipated, and that sucks. But guess what? That's life. So instead of being a superstar this year, maybe next year he becomes a little closer, and year 3 takes off. It's going to be progression. As long as it's progression, you got to be happy with that.
As you do that, you got to give him the stuff around him where it's not just him throwing the ball. If you think it's going to be a slow progression, like it looks like it's going to be, I'm not saying this kid will never be a great quarterback. I have no idea. But it doesn't look like next year he's going to come in and light the world on fire.
We don't know. How do we know that? How do we even know that?
I don't know.
You have year
I
2 of
watched
LaFleur's offense. You have year 2 of LaFleur's offense. Zach Wilson year 2. Michael Carter year 2. Elijah Moore year 2. Everybody's year 2. How do we know there's not a big step up there now? Now that everybody's comfortable, understands the playbook in the NFL.
You think he's going to come out next year and throw like 35 touchdowns, 45?
How do we know?
yards?
What does it always got to be
Within
doom and
12
gloom?
games.
Like we always got to shit on everybody and be like, oh, you know what? This isn't going to happen. This can't happen. Anything can happen in the NFL. If anything, I have more faith in this staff working with this kid that wants it, and they're all trying to figure it out.
Yeah, I love
this staff right now. Comes like Mike LaFleur is probably the best coordinator we had in how long? We have an NFL offense now for the first time in forever. Everybody loves Elijah Moore. Everybody loves Michael Carter. Those are all pieces to your puzzle. That's
I think the team can win games next year. Like I said, I think the offense has talent. But I think you got to have a defense that's capable also winning you games. Because I don't think Zach Wilson. I think Zach Wilson will be a good quarterback next year.
I don't talk about defense. You're talking about Zach Wilson now. So my thing is, I have a lot of faith in this coaching staff working with Zach. They can take the next step next year, and that should because I'm tired of everybody just shitting on everything.
The next step to me though is not that he's going to be an elite quarterback. He's going to throw 35 touchdowns. I think the next step is he's just a good player.
If he throws 25 touchdowns and 14 picks next year, would you be happy with that?
Yeah, I would be happy with that.
And that's reasonable.
I think that's the next step. I think that is reasonable. I agree. I'm not trying to shit on the kid. I think he could be a good quarterback. He flashed some things last year. Right. But I'm just trying to say, like, sometimes when I watched, I was like, this should be a little bit easier. Like, he should look a little more comfortable. I get he's a rookie. I'm not expecting him to light the world on fire. I'm just talking about like the screen pass.
Dude, that's every quarterback. Have you watched Daniel Jones try to play quarterback? It was a fucking joke. That's just now. This is on the Jets now to self scout and say what can he do? What can he do? And let's maximize what he's good at and call plays that way. And they work together with it. But Joe, we gotta let you go, man. We got people on hold. They're
all right. I'll see.
Thanks for calling in, man.
All right.
Have a good night, man.
Why'd you get me all fired up, dude? I was trying to be calm and peaceful tonight.
You did that on your own. I didn't do shit.
I'm so fucking.
You might as well just
tired.
keep it going and bring Steve on.
No, but I'm so tired of everybody saying, well, what if Zach doesn't do this next year? What if Zach can't do this? It's always negative shit. What about this? What if Zach plays fucking well?
I don't even think he was trying to make it negative. I think it was more just about
everybody. It's like there's always like, well, what if we can't do this?
There's always going to be people like that. But I think you can make a legitimate argument that if you're adding like legitimate weapons all over the place, that puts a little bit more pressure on him next year to get it right away. There's
pressure on everybody, dude. There's pressure on Sal. There's pressure on the floor. The whole fucking organization still have pressure. They haven't won shit in a decade.
Yes,
there's pressure on everybody.
If you go out and let's just say you sign Devontae Adams, you get Schultz, and then you draft an offensive lineman at pick 4. That often, like the entire offense is ready to go at that point.
Yep.
So Zach Wilson would be the only reason why that offense would sputter, right? We all have plenty of faith in the coaching staff. So if you're adding all these things, I think the expectation next year is that the offense is going to perform at a high level.
But you know what my expectation is too? Is this defense is not one of the worst in the NFL. They can actually stop the fucking run. Because my head coach is a defensive guru, according to everybody that talks to me.
Supposed to be.
So my expectation is this can be a much more efficient, well-run team next year. Better time management, better clock management, much better defense, and an improved offense.
And if the coaching staff is so good, do they need star players at every position?
They need to play a better on. I'm saying like there's next year all
mainly speaking about the offensive staff.
No, but I'm saying everybody had this was their past this year. Wilson, solid. Everybody got the rookie coach, rookie coordinator, all this shit. Everybody's rookies. Okay, now year 2, the expectations for everybody's higher because you got to show progression. You got to show better. Everybody does, dude. Like that Becton. Everybody. You can't come in. We're running out of excuse because we're running out of time. We can't keep doing 5-year rebuilds. You guys turn shit around quickly. And if you're not part of the solution, you're fucking out of here. that's so I expect more from everybody,
agree.
dude.
No, I-
Especially on
listen,
defense, especially Ulbrich.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I agree with what Joe is saying. As far as we probably have 4 guys, maybe 5, that are legitimate starters that we can count on for next year. Other than that, there's a lot of good depth pieces. A lot of guys that if somebody's out for a week or two, like a guy like Eccles, I don't mind him filling in as a starting corner for a week or two. Do we want him starting the entire season? Probably not. Who are our safeties going to be? What coverage linebackers do we have?
Yep.
Do we trust in Sherwood and Nasruddin? Like there are a lot of questions on this defense, and I agree with you that Zach Wilson is the most important piece on this franchise. But if you build a legitimate defense, does that make his life easier? Does that
It
put
makes
a
his
little
life
bit,
easier,
like,
but
less
also
pressure on him?
a solid, legitimate running game helps him. An efficient offense where you can move the chains, not be 3rd and 10 all the time, put together consistent drives. That helps everybody, dude. That's where I'm kind of like, it's all complimentary football, man.
That's where it also comes down to who's available, who wants to come here, who can you actually bring in, who's there at pick 4, who's there at pick 10. Is best player available a pass rusher, or is it an offensive lineman? I think that has to play a part in it too. You have so many holes throughout this team. You can go best player available, whether it's a pass rusher, an offensive tackle, a receiver. Like, they have that luxury to do that because there are holes everywhere.
No, I agree. And also, and I'll keep saying it, I'd like to know what we're doing at free agency first before I start offering up hot takes number 4. Because they can make a series of moves on offensive line. You're like, wow, this offensive line's stacked. Okay, maybe you have a little more flexibility at number 4. Like, there's so many things that could change. Yeah. Or they trade for a receiver. They go and trade for Calvin Ridley. They trade for whatever. That changes everything. So we'll go. What's up, Johnny? How you doing, man? He always says hi to me. I appreciate that. I don't know how I'm so angry tonight. What the fuck happened?
I think we got to go right to Steve. Just keep the anger going.
We're gonna go to my good friend Elias. What's up, Elias?
What's up, guys? How we doing tonight?
How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. I agree with you entirely, Tyson. The amount of negativity and all the doom and gloom, like, I don't get it, man. Do people want us to suck again for another 10 years? Like, I understand that it's been rough recently, and stuff definitely we've seen. If it will go wrong, it can. If it can go wrong, it will go wrong. But why not think? We got a whole new regime. Why not just be somewhat optimistic about Zach Wilson? I thought he looked pretty darn good, especially against Tampa, the Eagles. The Eagles game. You say, oh, he didn't throw for many yards and whatnot. Yeah, because his fucking defense was on the field the whole third quarter. Like, what do you expect? Like, yeah, I agree with you, man. The amount of doom and gloom, it's ridiculous. I mean, let's have some hope in this team, man.
No, listen, I understand. Listen, as Jet fans, we have, trauma from all the failed quarterback experiences in the past. But if it's just being fair, it's just that he played well toward the end of the season. LaFleur showed a lot of good things, and a lot of guys were freaking hurt. Yet, Elijah Moore was out. Corey Davis was out. I mean, there's a lot of things going on, and he still found ways to score points and move the ball. Now you build on it. And it's just, like, dude, I'm just encouraged, man. Like, I'm encouraged by the coaching staff. I'm encouraged by young playmakers that we haven't had in a long time. And you kind of build, and the defense needs help. And now it's just a matter of, okay, what is Joe Douglas going to do to fix it? Like, how does he approach it? Because the first thing he's got to figure out is what guys you want to keep on your current roster. Like, now, like the last caller you said, Fadakasi, he can go. Like, everybody wants to ship people out, which is fine. But you got to replace all these guys too. So that's going to be a lot of roster tinkering.
Yeah, or do you trust in guys like Jonathan Marshall? I mean, does he have a role? You mentioned Bryce Hull also. Like, do all these guys have a role, or do you actually have to spend money and sign some free agents to replace them?
I mean, yeah, they're defensive linemen, so they're going to get in there at some point. It's not like they're strictly backup, but I wouldn't put them as
especially on
every.
Yeah.
I was about to say, but no, I mean, like, you look at the defensive line. I think Fadakasi's gone. I agree with the last caller. Nose tackle, not really fit in this defense. I like Fadakasi, was a really good 5th round pick. I think that was by McCagnon, which is pretty fucking rare, but he's probably gone. Rankins, I know you'd save a lot of money, but unless you're going to spend that for an upgrade, I don't know about just cutting him just to cut him. He underwhelm last year, no doubt. With some edge help, you never know, it might help. He's a guy who's had a lot of injuries in the past, so the healthier he gets, the better he might get. Who knows? I'd be interested in keeping him. Yeah, but like, you look at Marshall, I wouldn't. Yeah, I know everyone's talking shit about the lights, man. What am I supposed to do?
Stay true to yourself, man. It's fine. I like it. I think it looks good,
man.
Good.
Appreciate it. It's not up to me, so
who cares?
Looks like 2 different rooms almost.
Yep.
I mean, well, the corner I'm sitting in used to be a closet, but we knocked it out. So that might be why.
The
Yeah.
chat is very easily distracted, man. You can tell they just go off on their tangents. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, use candles, all that shit. Yeah.
So what do you? So
I'm
what do
gonna-
you? But what do you want to do at wide receiver though? Because that's the one that interests me the most. Because a lot of people are talking about the draft class is so loaded, so many options. But you have free agent options too that you can pursue, especially if Cooper gets cut. I mean, there's a lot of guys out there.
Yeah, I don't think Cooper gets cut, but I would definitely look into trading for him. Like, I think you could get him for a 4th-round pick or something, just because he's on a big
Really?
deal. Maybe a 3rd-round pick at most, in my opinion. That's my guy. You look at, Josh Allen with the Bills, Kyler Murray. They've traded for these really good
Yep.
veteran receivers. I'm not saying Amari Cooper's as good as Stephon Diggs or DeAndre Hopkins is as good, or he's as good as DeAndre Hopkins. But at the same time, Stephon Diggs was a great player with Minnesota, but he's
Yeah,
not
he
what he
was.
is now. So he could still get better. I mean, Amari Cooper, he's been in the league for a while, but he was really young when he got in back in, I think, 2015 with the Raiders. So he's a guy I'd be interested in. The free agent options are interesting. It's always tough talking free agents before guys get tagged, guys get brought back and whatnot. You got 2 intriguing guys in Godwin and Gallup coming off ACLs. Chark, I think, is interesting, not as,
Yep.
a number 1, but
Yep.
he's coming off a big injury though, too. I think, with Jacksonville, you don't know if they want to keep him or he just wants to get the hell out of there with the amount of chaos that's been going on with that franchise recently. So yeah, there's some interesting options. It's kind of a waiting game to see who stays.
Who's your
goes,
number?
and
Who would be your preferred option?
Mark Cooper.
Yeah, he's a
Because I don't think you have to give up too much. We have the salary cap. He's a stud route runner, which is really needed in this system. And he's different from what we have already. So yeah, Amari Cooper. He's a number 1, which we don't have. And then that makes Elijah Moore. You can play him in the slot. You can also move him outside. Corey Davis can also play on the field.
Your thoughts, prime time? Elias is dropping some knowledge right now.
He's dealing right now. Like I said before, I think like somebody in that second tier, like a DJ Shark, or even you mentioned Christian Kirk. I think those guys are probably a little bit more realistic. I think I'd probably prefer Calvin Ridley as long as he checks off all the boxes and they determine that he's really into it. I prefer him, I think, over paying Cooper, whatever his contract is. I think he's making like $20 million a year, something like that. I don't know what his cap number is for next year, but I think there's going to be some other guys that become available too. Mike Thomas, he might become available.
Yep.
Maybe even DeAndre Hopkins, if Kyler Murray gets traded, maybe he wants out also. I think it's going to be a crazy offseason. I think a lot of stuff's going to happen.
Yeah, Michael Thomas I'd avoid just because he hasn't been on the field at all recently. I think he played 8 games, 2020, none last year.
Yeah.
So that's pretty concerning.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure the Saints, I don't know if it's with him, but with some of their players, it's a bigger cap hit if they trade the guy than keep them. So I know people talk about the Saints having all these players, because the way they do the crazy shit with their salary cap. I know some people say, oh, just, they're in cap hell. That means you could trade for everybody. We thought that last year and they kept everybody. It's crazy what teams can do with the cap.
Elias, thanks for calling, man. We appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. And
thanks for your donation too, man.
Oh, of course, man. No problem. And so Super Bowl halftime show, I believe I'm coming on, right?
Primetime lets you.
Once I destroy Jose in our rap battle, you can.
Oh yeah, I got to hear that. And and Tyson, I checked out, what was that band that you recommended me? They have the Pump It song.
Eskimo Callboy.
Yeah, that shit was hilarious. I loved it.
Right? I'm telling you, dude.
It was funny. It was really funny.
Pump it like pump weights.
Oh, I thought you said puppet, like Muppets and Puppets.
There's actually puppets in their videos too.
Yeah.
Have a good night, man.
Yeah, you too, guys.
Have a good night.
All right, so guess who's joining us? What's up?
What's going on, folks?
Oh.
What's going on, man?
What kind of sweatshirt you
What's
wearing
up,
there?
man?
Looks like a fancy sweatshirt.
Oh, this Let's Talk Jets sweatshirt, the gray edition. Absolutely fabulous, man. You know
Look
what
at
I'm saying?
this guy.
Yeah, I just got to represent the cause, baby. Got to stay right, baby.
So
Fresh to death, dressed fresh to impress.
So rumor has it you're trying to lose 100 pounds.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
So
sir. Yes, sir.
Chris came on earlier tonight, and says if you lose 75 pounds by the end of summer, he will donate $1 a pound to whatever cause you want.
Hey, Chris, definitely gonna be something going towards my health. So yeah, Chris, we'll definitely do that. I'll take the challenge.
There you go. See that prime time? See, that was easy enough. See that?
Yeah.
So how are you doing it? Are you just like you change like your diet and stuff, or what are you doing?
Yeah, what I want to do is, man, like I start this new account starting on the 21st. So I'm actually going to be in one place for like 4 months. But
nice.
but it's gonna fluctuate. I'm about to go out during the day, so I got a personal trainer, and just eat better, man. Like you know what I'm saying, watch my intakes. You know what I'm saying, more lean food. You know what I'm saying, watching my calories and stuff like that. I'm not, like I dropped weight before with going with the no calories, but that's not realistic. You know what I'm saying? So I want something that's gonna actually work. That's but take my time. You know what I'm saying? With it, but actually something I can sustain over time. So.
Now the question I have is, you're taking all this ambition. Is this for maybe a wedding coming up or something?
I mean, it's a possibility something might be coming on. But, listen, I'm never in the same place for 4 months and still going to be able to make the kind of money I'm making. So, it's like a blessing, man. Sometimes, man, you don't see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So, you guys know how I travel. Like, I'm late today because, you know what I'm saying? Long day. So, but it's a great opportunity, man, and I can't pass it up, man. Like, my doctors stressed me to lose weight. Just to be more healthy, you know what I'm saying?
Good for you, man. That's awesome.
I do everything I'm supposed to do. It's just the fact that, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's so crazy is my doctor was like, he was like, look, man. He said, bro, you can eat like 3,000 calories and you wouldn't gain a pound. It's like, what the hell are you doing? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
eating the right calories. Yeah.
And also,
follow all my recipes.
Well, listen, one last thing too. I don't eat enough. You know what I'm saying? What happens is I don't eat enough. Like, I might eat once or twice, but what happens is my body just keeps
that food's just gonna sit there. Yep.
Yeah, because the body, your
gotta
body
keep your metabolism going. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. So once your metabolism is going, your body will release it. If you sit there putting stuff in, I just got to put the right kind of stuff in. So it's a journey, but it's a mental thing, and I got to do it, man. You know what I'm saying? So I'm on it.
So you got Nick just shouted out to you. He said he used to be a trainer. If you need any help, he'll help you out. So Nick offered some help.
Hey, I appreciate that, bro. I definitely gonna need all the help and support I can get. You know what I'm saying? So I'm definitely on it. Brian,
so the couple tips is don't follow Prime Time's recipes.
Absolutely. But Prime Time, his steaks be looking amazing though. I ain't gonna hold you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Your steaks be looking good. I ain't gonna lie, bro. When you and Jay went at it, bro, your steaks looked amazing. So
we might have to do a cook-off again for the Super Bowl. Pre-game cook-off and then halftime rap battle.
Gotta stay on it, man.
Talk match.
So we got a lot of advice in the chat right now. So I guess we can go to, do we have to do, we might as well.
Yeah.
What's up, man?
What's up, guys? Tyrone, what's up, man?
What's going on, big dog? How you?
Steve's looking
hey,
buff
long time
too.
no talk, Tyrone. Kevin, Tyson, how we doing?
It's like a flex off.
Good,
that's what I'm saying, man.
That's how you doing it.
So what's going on, guys? How we doing?
You tell us.
No, man, I was watching clips of the Reese's Bowl, this past Saturday, and I was impressed with a lot of players. Kevin made a good point about Jake Ferguson, one of the tight ends. He's got potential, but a lot of tight end that the Jets fans are very high on is Trey McBride. There's rumors now that he could be a late first-round pick, but if he's there in the second round, I take him. And Tyrone, you mentioned this last week. When you were going over players for the draft, I take that pass rusher from Oregon. If he's there at number 4, I take him. He is an unbelievable talent. And we need a legit pass rusher, like to team up with, especially with a healthy Carl Lawson coming back. We need a healthy pass rusher.
So let me ask you this.
Got to get pass rush. We haven't had a pass rush since John Abraham.
So if his ceiling is that of an elite pass rusher, but there are some concerns maybe about, his drive to play football or his love for the game, his fire, would that deter you away from taking him in the top 5?
I don't think it has to do with his love of football. I just think because at the beginning, when everybody was all saying when mock drafts happened during the season last year, he was expected to be the number 1 pick, but obviously he's been going down. And listen, if he's at number 4, I take him.
I'm gonna say this right here.
Get Tyron.
No, I'm gonna say this right here. There's no way he's gonna be there for. Houston just picked up Lovie Smith. If he gets past 2, bro, there's no way he's getting past Houston, man. Listen, I don't care about the kid's passion for football because we have a good coach. And I think the kid just being around grown men, I want to do it. I think it's just the urge of it. I think the Alabama comments, I think a lot of people have a problem with that. And, it's a lot of spin going on. So, like if he's there at 4, I do a backflip, get the card there. This kid is absolutely elite. He's an outstanding pass rusher. Well, Lawson on the other side, man, he could take this team to another level.
Yeah. The other thing I don't understand is like when everybody all talks about these mock drafts, and everyone is saying at number 4 the Jets are going to go for that safety Kyle Hamilton from Notre Dame. I know that's your boy from from Notre Dame, Tyson. But the thing is, you can't draft a safety that high. I mean, if he's at number 10, and let's say if we have a receiver, if we have our number 1 receiver, then I would take Hamilton at 10. I would take him at 10.
Steve, I got a question. Would you take Ed Reed at 10?
Who at 10?
If Ed Reed was back in the draft today, would you take Ed Reed at 10? I mean, at 4. At 4.
Well, at 4, would I take him at 4?
Yes.
With the talent he had? Sure,
Steve,
I would take him.
Steve,
I hope so.
Don't say you wouldn't. You know what I'm saying?
Good answer.
If this kid works out to be that kind of player, you know what I'm saying? They call him a unicorn, a once in a lifetime type player. Why would you take him at 4? And listen, it doesn't matter if the kid.
Let him answer that question.
Only thing is that the only thing is a concern is about when you take a safety that high, you got to make sure that he's a legit player. If you're gonna take a safety at number 4,
okay,
because
do you realize he plays more than safety?
Him at number
you
4,
understand that?
And if he turns out not to be great, then that's honestly a bad pick.
Like, does that apply to any fucking player? It applies to any player. If they don't pan out at 4, that's any player, any round. But answer my question though. You keep saying he's a safety. You do realize he plays other positions other than safety, though, right? He's a very versatile player. Do you understand that or no?
No, I've seen him in his highlights, and I've seen him play, at linebacker position. I mean, I don't watch.
So your evaluation of Hamilton is what? Tell me your full evaluation of Hamilton and why you don't want him. What can't he do that you don't like?
What is it I can't do that I don't like about him? I mean, I'm not saying I don't like about him. I think he's a phenomenal talent.
I want to understand what part of his game don't you like where you say, you know what, he's not worth the number 4 pick. Like what part of his game is not acceptable for you?
If I'm looking at this situation and if I'm looking at his play of game, I'm just not a fan of taking safety at number 4.
No, that's
I'm
not the question.
A fan. And
you're looking at his game. Okay, you're saying you don't want Hamilton at 4. What part of his game as a player, his speed, his range, his ability to cover tight ends, cover running backs, pass coverage, defense?
It's his range.
You're fucking out of your mind. What? Get the fuck off this stream.
I'm not getting off the stream.
You're not?
He told you.
No, it's just
seems like you are now.
That's not the answer, Steve. Like, range would be the last thing. The one thing this kid has is range. But you know what I'm saying? Listen, I understand everyone's gun shy about taking a player like him. This is not Jamal Adams. This kid is way better than Jamal Adams. This kid is absolutely everything he's advertised to be. He has range. He can cover.
Dude, the guy's got range.
I thought that was gonna be a nice call.
Yeah, he kind of killed it. He kind of killed that with that. I knew that was coming, and he was like, "Yo, you don't."
Once he said, "I'm not getting off the stream," I knew it was a matter of seconds. I was like,
"Yeah, I knew it was coming." Listen, I already knew that. It's a wrap.
But no, listen. I respect everybody's opinion that says you can't take Hamilton at 4. I understand because he's a safety, but just break down. And I'm not saying take him at 4 by no means. I'm not even saying that. But people would shit on him and say, "Well, you can't take him there." Okay, tell me why. Because he's a very good player, man. He does a lot. He'll bring a lot to the table. Now, if you want to take offensive lineman, I'm cool with it. Pass rusher, fine. Whatever, dude, I'm cool with it. But, dude, like, it's just – and I didn't mean to pick on Steve, but the thing is it's like he says, well, he's a safety, I can't take him. Well, don't discount the kid, man. Like, be better than that. Do your evaluation of the player before you completely discount him and say you can't take him there. That's all. It's my guy.
Yo, listen, I'm gonna say this right here though. You know what's crazy to me? And I've been saying this, and I think people think I'm crazy. Like, listen, if Thibodeau's not there at 4, and we don't take the tackle or guard / trade down.
Yeah, but the only problem is you may not have a team that wants to come up and pick one of those guys though. There's no as of now. There's not a quarterback everybody wants or players everybody covets. So you need these guys to have a great combine, great pro days, and have some hot names climb the charts that teams actually want. That's the problem.
Why is it when we get the 3rd pick in the draft, when there's
two
picks
in the top 10,
and you telling me that ain't one fucking quarterback nobody wants? You can't make this shit up, bro.
We have 2 picks in the top 10, and it's probably the worst top 10 class they've had in 10 years.
That's always ridiculous. We were picking 3rd, and Bosa went 2nd. I mean, we're always 1 pick away. I'm sure Thibodeau's probably going to go pick 3. That's our life.
We'll go to Jomo. What's up, Jomo?
Nothing much, guys. How we doing?
You
guys kind of underrating the draft.
We're what?
Underrating
Underrating
the
it?
draft.
How are we underrating the draft
Well, the
now?
top 10?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we're just looking at the wrong positions. I think a lot of receivers may go top 10, to be completely honest.
I mean,
Really?
every
Who,
analyst,
Jomo?
yeah, but every analyst has said, in terms of overall talent in the top 10, this doesn't really match the other years, just based on there's usually like the can't miss guys or highly touted guys. And this one, there's so many different opinions on the players, where there's no
Yeah.
legitimate top, like everybody's saying the top 6 guys are always the top 6. Everybody's kind of varying on that.
Yeah, I guess last year's was kind of like set in stone, the top 5 or 6, whatever.
But like other
But,
than Garrett Wilson, I mean, who are the receivers that are supposed to be going like top 10, at least definitively? I mean,
I
I've seen
think-
maybe
I
like
think
one or two
London
mocks
for
with like
sure.
Treylon Burks. But
If London runs a
top 10?
4.4, you don't think he'll go top 10?
I haven't seen him in many mocks in top 10, but I haven't looked at too many
But
either.
if he
yet,
runs
the
a
ones I have
4.4,
seen,
I mean,
haven't seen him anywhere.
there's still a lot of evaluations that have to be done. I mean, you still got the combine, which does boost a lot, especially receivers. It boosts their stock quite a lot when you got those 4.4 40s at 6'5", 215 pounds. I mean,
A lot of teams might fill their needs at receiver in free agency too. I mean, there's going to be a lot of guys out there.
that's true. That's true as well. But
I think this year right here, Jomo. I think this year right here, what everyone is saying is just not the quality for sure picks in the top 1 through 10. And I think it's what it is. I think this year right here is going to come down to scouting and understanding who you have and being able to evaluate talent. Because I think some of these players will be stars, but I think that listen, you can run a 4.4 40 and be 6'5", but if you don't play at that speed, like listen, what's the running back for Buffalo? What's the kid name?
Singletary.
Singletary. You know why Singletary dropped? Because of his 40 time. But this kid Tate
he's a
never
good player,
lied.
too.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly, he's a great player. And you know what I'm saying? He dropped so late because his tape he ran slow.
Yep.
He didn't play slow. Some guys run fast. They're track guys. But you don't play at that speed. You know what I'm saying? I like London myself. I like Burks myself. Like the kids from Ohio. I'm not really big on them, bro. I'm not. I mean, I want to give Zach a 6'3", 6'4" target that can catch the ball, that can beat
Denzel Mims.
after the catch. Absolutely, huh?
Said Denzel Mims, 6'3", 6'4"
Oh,
There you go.
God.
Who? Denzel who? He should play for us?
Yeah, for now.
No, I really think for us at least, I think adding a Wilson or a London would be a great move for us. But I do think there will be a couple that go in the top 10. But
So you don't go in free
Just blacked
agency
out.
though?
What happened to your
Because
lights?
he has to move
I don't know this freaking thing, but
from Elias to Jumbo. So you don't pursue any guys in free agency then?
to be completely honest, I think free agency is going to be more of a defensive type of pickup time. I mean, I think they might pick up a couple offensive linemen, re-sign some guys. I do think they're re-signing Barrios, which I want to get to. But
Yeah, your take is
I don't
terrible.
think
was his
think
take
that
on
they're going to
Barrios?
get any big name receivers.
Tell us how much you want to pay Barrios.
If anybody feels that they should give him $6 million, I say, well, give him $9 million. I mean, what the hell? You give him
Yeah,
a
what the hell?
guaranteed contract.
What the
You
hell?
know, you cut him after you could cut.
Who
You have
cares
an
about
option to
cap
cut
space
him.
and money? Fuck it, just spend it on everybody.
No, but with John Franklin Myers, we have an option to cut him after this season, and we don't take any dead
What does that
cap.
do about giving Barrios a bad contract?
I don't think it's a
How
bad
many
contract.
times,
If he's worth 6, why isn't he worth 9?
9's a big number, Jomo. You know what I'm saying? 9's
I
a
wish
big
you were my
number.
But
boss,
why?
man.
So
I
what's
wish
the
you were my
three-
boss when I
what's
go
the
for a
3
raise.
million?
I wish you were my boss.
What's the difference between the $3 million for a guy that isn't only
That could be, you know what, that $3 million could be an offensive lineman. That could be your offensive line depth right there.
Yeah,
that
damn.
could be
A
somebody else.
safety,
Feeney?
linebacker,
That could
Or
be
cornerback.
Marcus
Feeney.
Joyner.
I could
Receiver.
take a Feeney in the later rounds. I mean,
That
in
could
the
be
draft.
Lamarcus Joyner.
Yeah, that did a slot.
Lamarcus Joyner. I think you
Jomo,
could sign Lamarcus Joyner to the veteran minimum.
Now we're
whatever that
discounting
is.
$3 million. You can actually get players for that. Would you pay
I
Tevin
think-
Coleman last year $1 million? No, we don't need
Yeah,
him either, I
something
guess,
like
right?
that. No,
No, I mean, but it's $3 million though. No big deal. You got 2 players. You got Feeney and Coleman for you. I don't care about $3 million.
I think Barrios is a real asset to the team. I mean, he's just a gadget
$9
player.
million
He could-
you want to pay him a year for a
I think
fourth
he could be
receiver?
on the field as that second running back when you have the 2 running backs, 3 wideouts. Like, I think he could be out there all the time. He's a really good player.
Maybe he's our Debo Samuel.
I'm not saying
Ah,
that.
A less
But
explosive
that's-
wide receiver, but more of like the gadget type guy.
But that is the position he played, is all I'm saying. And I think he was an asset to the team when guys went down.
You want to compare the size of Debo Samuel and Braxton Berrios? We want to
I
compare the
didn't
size
say
of these
that.
guys?
Who said that? I didn't say nothing about Debo Samuel.
He's a great player, Jomo, but man, you can't give him $9, Jomo. That's just crazy.
I think he's worth it. But regardless of that, I definitely don't think that we'll go big on wide receiver in the in free
You just
agency.
did with $9 million. Shit, that was big right there.
That's
but I think it'll be more of a defensive thing for free agency, honestly. I think you need some more veterans on the defense. You got a lot of young bucks in there right now. I understood what that caller Joe was saying about we got a lot of backups on the squad. So I feel like if you get some veterans to come in and kind of put some competition on the defense, I think that'll be good. Leadership as well. But I think, and that apparently the reports.
Why is that picture moving like that in the background?
Windy.
The wind is blowing.
Oh, it's the wind?
Yeah.
I thought there was like
It's kinda
somebody
chilly
behind
out.
there.
He's tapping the Rockies.
So do you have any players in mind that you wanted to bring in on defense in free agency or no?
Yeah, veterans.
I mean, veterans like Sheldon Richardson, like we talked about last week. I think some pass rushers. If you want to spend big, I would like Ogba. Clowney is good if you want to take him, I think. But I don't know really.
I don't know if I would go Clowney.
I think a lot of the corners are going to be pretty high price tags, right? Fuller, J.C. Jackson. I think a lot of them will command a lot of money.
I think they're definitely going to sign at least one safety.
I think it'll be one of the lower tier guys, though. I don't know how much Tart will get paid. Joyner, like you guys said, I think one of the guys that is kind of like under the radar type deal. But I think they're going to attack the draft offense heavy, unless a Thibodeau falls. Like, do you guys think Thibodeau will fall? I know Tyrone, you said you don't think he will.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I think he'll get the 3, man. Maybe.
I think it's possible.
Well, listen, if he gets the 3 though, listen, Lovie Smith just took over the job in Texas. If he would have been anybody else, we'd have had a chance. He's not letting him walk out. He's not letting an opportunity like that pass, man. He's not. I wouldn't. Yeah. No one would. The kid's a beast. He's a straight legit player, man, that can really change. So listen, he's not great on run, but this kid's first step is fucking amazing. Like I tell you what, he'll run around Becton every single time. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's not saying much to everybody else.
That's for sure.
Damn, Tyson, give me a little hope, man. Listen, Jomo, I got a real question for you, Jomo. So you're saying that all our players we played with backups, but you realize we played with backups because a lot of our players got hurt. You know what I'm saying? So like,
oh, for sure, especially on offense too.
And what you said safety? What do you think about Pinnock being a safety? You having a chance to start a safety next year?
I'd love to give him a chance next year.
So would you go?
You got to have competition.
Would you sign somebody? Okay, say you sign. He's a second tier. He's a second year guy. So why not bring someone in that costs a few dollars that could play the position better? You know what I'm saying?
I'd love it, but I think the guys that are that few dollars are like more than a few dollars.
Well, Jomo, if you don't spend $9 million on Berrios, you have a few dollars left.
No, that's
Just speaking facts, Tyrone. Just speaking facts.
I'm saying I would. I don't think we're gonna have to, but I'm saying I would. I just value him at that. But would you guys consider taking a receiver at 4 if say Neal and the 2 edge guys were off the board, or would you just go Hamilton, no brainer?
Receiver at 4,
Probably
I
trade
definitely
down.
wouldn't do that. Yeah, I wouldn't do
Trade
that.
down.
Yeah.
But again, who wants to trade up? I mean, what are they trading up for? Who's going to trade up for a safety?
But right now, if you're
Carolina trade up. Washington will definitely trade up because they want a quarterback. So listen, certain teams are going to move up because they have to. Now I'm going to be honest with you.
I'd love to trade back.
I don't see how the fuck Detroit doesn't take a quarterback. You know, I know they have Goff, but that's not your future. So
I think Goff took the Rams to quite a few playoffs and the Super Bowl. I don't think he's bad. I think the Lions
he's not their
bad.
future though.
He's not the long-term answer.
I don't think they'll draft
okay,
a
but he's not
quarterback
there.
in 2 though.
I
I think Hutchinson's no way. What's
The
that?
Texas need a quarterback. You know what I'm saying? And listen,
I like Davis Mills.
We don't know what's going on with Watson. Is he coming back? I think he's going to have a settlement there.
He's not coming back.
Vic came back. Anything's possible, man.
Hey.
Jomo, thanks for calling, man. We appreciate it.
Have a good night, bro.
Take it easy, guys. Have a good one.
Yeah. Have a good night, man.
I'm glad Jomo ain't our cap guy, bro. We be in cap.
What's $3 million? No big deal. Just pay it. Who cares? Fuck it. $3 million, no big deal. And I'm not gonna go down this path tonight. I'm supposed to be in a good mood. What happened? I was happy to see you. Happy to see, and all this anger is coming out of me now.
I don't know.
All started with Joe and then Steve.
Fucking Steve and his bullshit. What's up, Zach?
What's up, guys?
How you doing?
What's up,
It's
man?
going. I joined right when Steve was on. I'm like, as a Notre Dame guy,
Yep.
I'm like, I just couldn't believe it. Nah, but just going on with that because it ties into what I wanted to talk about. Lance Zierlein released his mock draft today, and I don't know what he's smoking to think that like the draft's gonna fall this way. Like, he has us taking Hamilton at 4, which I mean I could see if it was like worst case scenario, but I'd still like to trade out of that spot. I mean, I am a Hamilton guy just because he is very versatile. He can play either strong safety, free safety. He can line up in nickel. He can play linebacker. Yep. He's just very versatile, but maybe top 4 is a little too high, but worst case scenario, I think he's good there. And then at 10, he has us taking Ahmad Gardner.
Who was his top? Who was his top 3? How did he have it going?
So his top 3 had Evan Neal at 1, Aiden Hutchinson at 2, and then he predicts the Giants trading up and the Texans trading back, and the Giants taking Aquanu at 3.
So we're passing Thibodeau.
Aquanu,
yeah.
Thibodeau's dropped to like 7 something like that on his list, right? I think I saw it early.
Thibodeau's 7 to the Giants, and it's like, I don't see that happening. I think the Jets, like, if we're staying at 4, it's going to be in the trenches. It's either going to be a tackle, but if Neal and Aquanu aren't there, then it has to be Thibodeau. It has to be somebody you put on the opposite side of Carl Lawson and get so much pressure.
I'd be shocked if they passed on him, dude. I'd be shocked.
Bro, I think you'd be pissed, Tyson.
I'm going to use the shock word for now.
You and the rest of the fan base. But listen, the one thing I will say is this, though. And this is my whole point, man. Watching all these mock drafts, you know what I'm saying? Listen, if Jermaine Johnson drops to the second round and he's there at 35, there's no way they're letting the kid go. This kid absolutely blew the Senior Bowl up. He was unstoppable. You know what I'm saying? So you can actually double dip. And for me, I would rather go with 2 edge rushers this year. Like if it's late rounds, I'm fine. Second round, third round, listen.
Wait a minute, hold on. So you'd go pass rusher at 4 and in the second round?
I would, yes, sir. That kind of player, absolutely. Listen, his system is predicated on getting a pass rush. You know what I'm saying? We don't have that. You know what I'm saying? At all. And we don't know what Lawson's going to be. Listen, it might take Lawson mid-season before we get back to form. You know what I'm saying? So why not go ahead and get that? Listen, this is what the system needs. So, you know what I'm saying? They work some. Listen, they're going to find a diamond in the rough from that Senior Bowl. They're going to find 1 or 2 guys that
you better find more than one.
About. Hey, listen. But listen, now watch this right here. We have no 6 or 7 round picks. Joe D's we're gonna have 3 or 4 picks in the 5th or 6th round. Watch. He's gonna move back. He has to.
He just better find a tight end, man. He just better find one because there was like 3 or 4 in Senior Bowl that looked good. There's a bunch of them out there. He's got to get one of these guys.
Listen, Ferguson. You know what I'm saying?
That's prime times guy.
I'm telling you, man. Trey McBride's minds, man. This kid is just
good, man.
listen. When the coach was like, you gonna be all right. I trust our tight end coach saying this kid's gonna be a monster, yo. Did y'all watch his game speech, bro? Did that shit just not hype you up, bro?
Yeah.
Yo, you know what? It's something when you don't know what to do, hit him anyway. Like shit.
I love that.
Yeah,
when in doubt, hit somebody. Yep.
Exactly.
No, definitely. And going back to what you said about Jermaine Johnson, like that Senior Bowl performance, he's rising up on a lot of boards apparently. Like even though Zierlein, even though I'm saying he doesn't know what he's talking about, I can see him going in the first round now. He has him going 13th to the Browns. So I'm like,
I mean, so much is going to change in the next 2 months, dude. You're going to have all the pro days, the combine.
Yeah, true.
Everybody's going to be just all over the place. But what is your approach in free agency? Like, well, first of all, what are your thoughts on Berrios?
Berrios, I mean, I love the guy. I think he's good for Zach Wilson, but at the same time, you're not paying him over $6 million. $6 million is the highest I go. There's just so many different guys. Like, if anything, you need to find ways for LaFleur to scheme more people open, and Berrios allows you to do that, but also having a competent tight end lets you do that.
Yep.
Having, a guy like Cordarrelle Patterson that can line up as running back, line up in the slot, line up in a bunch of different places. Like, you already have Elijah Moore shown that he can do that on jet sweeps. It's like you have guys that are capable of doing more than one thing. It's just Berrios brings in the kick returning aspect, but at the same time, I don't see you paying him over 6. I don't think in the long term you can do that, especially with how much depth we're going to need in free agency, bringing in people in. So,
completely
I got
agree.
a question. Yo, prior to this year right here, did Berrios suck at punt returning and kick returning? Prior to this year right here, every year before that, he would fair catch every fucking punt he received. Right? Did I forget this, or am I tripping? Am I being honest? This is the best year he had as a
Contract year.
Contract year, yep.
Exactly.
Maybe he's finally got blockers in front of him.
But
listen, Warriors system.
Prior to this, what has Berrios done? I mean, I'm just being honest. Listen, they gave Crowder $5 million, right? Before this year, right here, Crowder was way better than Berrios, correct?
Absolutely.
Oh, hell yeah. Absolutely.
So if they gave Crowder $5 million, anybody think he's getting? Now listen, he'll get $6 million somewhere else. I think it's gonna be $5 million.
Belichick will give him that.
Exactly, bro. Absolutely, he will. Just think it does. You know what I'm saying? Listen, he's a great player, but giving him, anything like 5.5, it's much.
All depends how you structure it too, though. You can give him $8 million per year, but only pay him, $6 million year 1, 6.5 year 2, and then the third year.
You can get creative with your guaranteed money.
$10 million. Yeah, you don't have to guarantee him a lot.
I want him back. I want him back. I think, listen, he's been a valuable asset. He's been a good jet. You know what I'm saying? So I can't knock him for that. He's been a great guy, locker room guy. Hasn't got
business,
trouble,
man. It's business.
Exactly. It's not personal business. But you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to keep certain guys in the building, though, Tyson, as well, though. We don't keep anybody. Listen, Marcus May's gone. Listen, it's nobody left.
Tyrone, we kept John Franklin Myers.
Yeah, you know what? And see, listen. I bet you.
Come on, man.
I bet you if Joe D could go back to that day when he signed that contract, he'd be like, let's wait a little bit. Let's see what happens.
Yeah. With JFM, though, it'll be interesting to see him, though, this year once they move him back inside, especially if we get an edge rusher.
That's exactly,
I hope he doesn't watch this show.
what it is, too. I think he'd be way better that way. You know what I'm saying? But that's getting a pass rusher. Listen, there's no way we come out this draft without having a competent edge on the side. We're not going to sign one in free agency because, listen, no other guys are going to want way too much money. Listen, to me, I think Jody needs to do 2 things, man. One, make sure you get a competent guard in. I think, you know what I'm saying? Sign a tight end in the free agency. Definitely draft 1 or 2. I'd rather get Trey McBride, the kid from Ohio State. That'd be perfect. Listen, they can run a 2 tight end set and change the game. Listen, our offense could be better if you could just attack the middle of the field.
So now you're drafting 2 tight ends and 2 pass rushers?
Hey, listen,
There goes our 4 picks right the window.
Double pick them.
Listen, because he's going to trade back and acquire more picks. Tyson, we're drafting at least 12 to 13 people in this draft. Guaranteed that. Joe D is moving back. I'm telling you, he's going to move back.
Joe D will trade back. He'll trade back. He'll trade back that second round pick probably.
And I think he wants that fucking tackle from the Senior Bowl. What's his name?
Penny?
Which one?
Yeah, the big
Falele.
kid, the one that,
the guy that was like, Falele or whatever his name is. The guy at 6'9".
Yeah, no.
Are you talking about Penning, the one that was like beating people up?
Penning.
Penny. That's him.
Yeah.
The one that was killing everybody. Yeah, all reports saying Joe D was over there all day with him. Like just every time, hey, you for me, the big fella. You want to be a jet? You know what I'm saying? Yo, listen, because we need something nasty. Listen, man, our offensive line isn't as bad as everyone thinks it is. Like that you was here last week, we were talking about Connor McGovern. Listen, they're bringing McGovern back, and I think they should. You know what I'm saying? I think I want to leave a bomb, but why not have McGovern back? Give Zach something to be comfortable with. Take you a draft you center later on in the rounds. Keep moving. That's it.
Zach, thanks for calling, man. We appreciate it.
Have a good night, guys.
Bro.
You too, man.
You too, man. Have a good night. Is this true?
Oops, hit the wrong
Penning
button.
had 19 penalties last season.
I hit all the wrong buttons here. My bad. Yeah, he led the league.
But it wasn't all like holding. It was like some of it was because the kid is extremely fucking aggressive. You know what I'm saying?
That
That's
could
what you
be
need
a problem.
That could be a
No,
problem
listen,
for sure.
Hold on. Let me ask you a question. Hold on. Let me ask you
So
guys
he can block and get 15 yards and penalties every time. That's wonderful.
Tyson, let me ask you a question, right? What in prime time? I know y'all been Jet fans as long as I have. When have you ever seen a Jet team go allow their quarterback to get slammed on the ground and there's no repercussions?
This year is terrible.
Have you ever seen that before? Ever?
Nope.
Do you even respect that as a Jet fan?
No.
Do you respect that though?
Not the way they played this year.
I'll take the 15. Go ahead and get that. You know what I'm saying? Hell no. Throw my quarterback on the ground like that. Fuck
Oh
that.
shit.
All right, we're gonna go to John K and Sam. It's a duo.
Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing?
Two guys.
Oh,
What's up?
2 for 1
This is a first.
special up here.
Been a long time coming, boys. Yeah, we've been watching you ever since COVID started.
Hey, where are you guys from?
That.
Well, we live in Middlesex, New Jersey. I grew up in Hunterdon County, though, out in the sticks, and
I grew up in Middlesex. Edison, New Jersey. Went to MCC for 2 years for my associates.
Oh, really nice. Awesome. So I just want to start off. I know Tyson was saying there's a lot of negativity. We're here to bring the positivity. We're here to bring positivity. We think this team's going in the right direction. We're excited with what Joe Douglas is doing. We have faith in Zach Wilson. We're here to be positive. We might not be right in everything we say, but
Afram will love you guys. That's for sure.
But I wanted to start real quick. When it comes to the draft, I'm completely fine with 2 offensive linemen in the top 10, and then Trey McBride or Isaiah Likely in the second round, and then a pass rusher right up to him, I think, at 38. What do you guys think about that?
Two
offensive linemen, tight end, and a pass rusher.
Yeah. Well, we don't know.
No receiver in the first 2 rounds. So you're signing a receiver in free agency, I assume?
Yeah, I don't have much faith that we're going to get like Devontae Adams or anything like that, but yeah, definitely. He's going to follow Rodgers to Broncos. Also, cheers, boys. Truly.
There you go.
Along with Ryan's stash on the beer.
Yep. Your show started the Trulies for us, so.
So wait, the offensive lineman, are you taking a center? What are the 2 offensive linemen you're taking?
The ones I was looking at, which I'm not an expert by any means, I'm going to say that right off the bat. But it was not a new. It sounded like a Nunwa or something, and then Linderbaum at 10.
So Kwanu, and then
yes.
I mean, your line's set for the next, at least 5 to 10 years if you do that. So
yeah, no, for sure.
That's a nasty line. That's a nasty line.
I like Drake London at 10 too. Like if that were to happen, I'd be totally fine with Drake London from USC.
Okay.
How much better do you think our defense would have been if Carl Lawson didn't get hurt?
Oh, I think the loss of Lawson was huge.
That's a good
I
question.
think Saleh had to completely alter the defense as far as just putting guys back in coverage, 10 yards off the ball, making sure that they're not you don't have a pass.
Stalker behind you.
I was gonna say there's a third person somewhere back there. I'm trying to ignore it.
Yeah, he's not a Jet fan, that's why. He's a Giant fan.
Because Bible Night.
We got the party house in New Jersey.
That's funny.
I was actually going to say, if we do take a pass rusher, like if Thibodeau falls or Carl Loftus or something, and then we have Lawson and then them, we need Quentin and Franklin Myers. They need to perform, dude. There's no more excuses there.
Or Quentin Williams.
Contract year. He definitely go perform it.
He sure is.
Contract year. Definitely go show.
Well, Barrios.
Actually, I wanted to get Bosa in that draft so bad.
Oh, we all did.
You ain't even lying, bro. That was a dream.
She was bad.
Yeah, not for real.
Cool. Well, thank you guys for calling in. We appreciate it, man.
Hey, thanks for having us on, guys. It was a pleasure. See you soon.
Have a good night.
Thanks, guys.
We get Thibodeau.
That's pretty cool. That was the first time we had that before.
Yeah,
we get
first
Thibodeau
duo
at 4.
That's pretty cool.
I'm not watching no more of the draft. We get Thibodeau, McBride, a receiver. I'm cutting the draft out. I don't care what you do with that, Jody. You have to draft nobody else. You just miss your time. I don't care.
2 offensive linemen would be interesting, man. That would be quite interesting.
Like D-Brick and Mangold all over again.
All right, we got Dan here because Dan's ready. He's all charged up. I can see it. They're all buffed up too. Damn, man.
What's up, baby?
Working out with Prime Time?
Trying, man. Yo, me and Tyrone, we got to get a workout going.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, baby. Morning, baby. Morning, baby. 21st, baby. Morning.
Dude, I want to do that workout, man, that Tyson did.
Do it.
That 4 miles for 48 hours and whatnot with Goggins. I love that guy.
It's 4 miles every 4 hours for 48 hours.
I love that.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
Dude,
this
if I
week.
ever have 2
Tyson,
days
that's
off
big,
with
bro.
like no wife,
That's
no
big.
kids, I would do it.
It's a
Tyson,
weekend.
That's big.
Right?
Tyson, that's
It's
big,
isn't it?
bro. That's big.
We'll
I'm
see
gonna
if
be
I
honest with
see
you,
if I
Tyson.
survive. It's 3 weeks away.
Man.
Tyson,
Positive, baby. Positive.
I'm gonna be rooting for you. I could probably walk 4 of those miles with you maybe twice, but you know what I'm saying? If
We'll see.
if I'm running 4 miles every 4 hours, I ain't gonna make it 48 hours. I'm you know I can't.
Let- yeah, Tyrone, if you ever read Goggins' book, dude, you would freaking run through a brick wall. That's how amazing that book is.
Yep.
Yeah,
The
what's
book's
it called?
amazing. It's incredible. You can't touch me. Oh, can't hurt me.
Can't hurt me. What an upbringing. It's out of this world.
Tyrone, you'll love it, dude. It's a very, very inspirational book, man.
As soon as we get off the line, I'm gonna check it out. Can't hurt me.
No, don't check it out. Just buy it. Trust us. Buy
Dude,
I'm gonna look up today. I'm gonna order that.
Dude,
Is
the
there an
book
audio
is
book?
incredible, man.
I like
yeah,
audio
he's got everything. It's incredible.
So, fellas, listen, man. I mean, to me,
Well,
this
first, man, you got to tell Tyson about your take from last week. Let him get in on that.
Which one with Linderbaum?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where you taking Linderbaum?
Yeah. So Tyson, look, the past two times that we witnessed AFC championships, we had all pro centers, but centers that had character, centers that were leaders in Mawai and then Mangold. Why not continue that up with Linderbaum at 4? Now, I'm not discrediting Hamilton. I'm not going to pull a Steve and say some outlandish thing. Hamilton is a beast, monster. We get him at 4, no problem. Okay. But this is a once-in-a-generational type of center that will make a staple right there and complete the line. That to me is we have every single position all set. Yes, that right guard position we don't know, and with Tardif we don't know. But I think more chances than not he's going to come back. But you got that center right there.
What if he's still available at 10? What if he's still available later in the first round?
I don't think he will be, man. I mean, the Giants back-to-back, they're going to fortify that offensive line. I think they're going to take him. That is like no ifs, ands, or buts. He's that good. He's that amazing.
Tyson?
I don't see it, man. I don't see it at 4. I just don't see it. I could see, if anything, I'd see if the Jets maybe trade up in the second round from a second-round pick up in the late first round maybe to get him. But I don't see it at 4 or 10. That's my personal opinion. I don't.
What do you think? I can't see it at 4. I can see it at 10. I can't see it at 4.
Oh, I would love it at 4. I do cartwheels.
He is a great player, though. I'm gonna give you that, big dog. He's a great player, man. He really is, man. Just watching this tape, man. I don't know if you watched the cut up on him, man. He blocked like 3 people in the same play, man. Shit was crazy. Like,
so where do you have him going, Tyrone? Do you think he's a top 10 player? Do you think he's like late first round? Where do you have him going? His center top 5 is just crazy.
I mean, all the mock drafts I've seen, you know what I'm saying, basically got him going between 10 and 16. Some had him in the second round. I don't see him getting to the second round. I think any team in the back half would love to have him. The kid's a quality player. If we were going to take him, I'd definitely probably take him maybe 10. If we move back to like 12, something like that. But I would definitely take him just for what the kid is. The kid he's automatic talent. You know what I'm saying? But I think, listen, the way McGovern played at the end of the season, listen, our biggest issue is this. Listen, and I'll go back. I want to touch 2 points real quick. Hamilton is a luxury pick. Hamilton's a player you pick when you had luxury.
How's he a luxury pick? He addresses several needs on your team.
Tyson, listen, what's more important?
The Jets have not had a player that can actually cover a running back or tight end at a backfield in a decade. He can do that for you.
Well, what's our most important need right now? We need a fortified line or get some help for Zach. That's more important. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say he's a luxury pick. If he's there at 10, no problem. I just think at 4, you can't take a player like that because you need to fortify that line. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you get
so for you, the number for the 4th pick has got to be an offensive lineman for you, right?
I want the kid. What's his name?
Neil. He's going to go number 1 overall, dude. He's going 1 overall.
If he's there
at 4, North Carolina State.
Yes, sir. If that kid is there at 4, I want him, man. The kid is absolutely nasty. He's nasty. And he would definitely, him, ATV on the other side, bro. We're good to go. I'm rolling with it. But you know what I'm saying? AVT, ATV, baby.
He's officially ATV for the rest of his career.
Exactly. When I meet him, AVT, nah, baby, ATV, baby, run him over. He's a monster. So why not have 2 monsters?
I think this is going to be, to me, a make or break off season for Joe Douglas. This is no we're going to sign a second tier, third tier free agents. That honeymoon is over. That's it. It's done. We got to take that big step. Everyone in this organization has to take that big leap step. Enough is enough with 6 wins, 4 wins. The Bengals showed everyone that it can be done. Oh, it's outlandish. It happens once in a while. No, like I alluded to last week, you have 2 teams in the Super Bowl that did it completely different. Ways where you look at one and you're like, you really can't build through the draft. You need a good mix. Dude, the Bengals, they built through the draft. Then you got the Rams. You can't really – money doesn't win championships. Wait until this Sunday. You know what I mean? So you can go both ways. Now, Joe Douglas, talk about luxury. He has the luxury on both worlds.
Yeah, but Dan, but the one thing – The Rams sold their soul for the Super Bowl though, because they gave away all their draft picks to get where they are now, so they better win it because it's not sustainable. The Bengals way is probably more sustainable.
I'm with you. But either way, what I'm trying to say is Joe Douglas is at the point right now where he has both options right there, and you have to mix and match. This free agency, I want him to go all out on Davante Adams. All out. And if that means to give up the 10th overall pick, you get him. We need a number 1 wide receiver. Pay him that money, dude. Pay him that money. Like, we're trying to hit the market.
You don't think he's going to hit the market?
Wait, hold on a second. Did you just say you would trade for a number 10 pick for Davante Adams? Did you say that?
Sure. Why not? You say no?
I'm not. I don't. Why do you, Davante Adams? You're gonna pay him what, $25 million a year, and your number 10 pick.
100%. Look at what the Bills did in order to help out Josh Allen. They didn't think twice. They traded to get Diggs. Like, what are we trying to do here? This is what I don't understand. Hold on. Let me get this straight. We had the Darnold experiment. We did.
Well, he's going to be a free agent. So you have to trade for him unless they franchise him. So he franchise him, you probably give more than a first-round pick. Give him more than that.
I'm sure there could be a deal that could be done. But what I'm trying to say is, why not build? That's my whole reasoning for drafting a center at 4. We have to help this kid. I get it. Defense is a priority here and there. But we're finally surrounding this guy with the right.
But what if you get? I'll go with your world. Say we go center at 4, which I completely hate the idea. What if you go receiver at 10 and a tight end second round? Now you've got center, tight end, receiver.
You have an unknown wide receiver. Meanwhile, you could have had a number 1 in Davante Adams. I mean, to me, it's a no-brainer. Who cares? Who cares? We have the money.
The biggest question, though, is why would Davante Adams still want to play here, though?
He doesn't.
Who knows, man? I mean, money talks. You know what I mean? My whole thing is let's
$25 million. You'll think about it. $25 million. You'll think about it.
But also,
we're trying to be stuck in this mediocre world where let's try to spend the money. Let's try to be smart about it.
But Dan, to me, but the Davante Adams is a one player away kind of move, and I don't think the Jets are one player away. Like I respect how good he is. I don't think he wants to come here because he's you're playing with an unproven quarterback. But also, it's like that money, that $25 million a year could be what, 2 or 3 players for the Jets, dude, that they desperately need.
That you can get during the draft. We have mad draft capital. I mean, there has to be a way where we can.
But we're not. But you know how many players we need to do? Everybody wants to cut all these guys. Oh, fuck him, get rid of him. Okay, you got to replace all these guys. So now you're going to give 25. You're going to give $25 million to Davante Adams and draft picks that we need to replace him. So now you're taking up cap space and losing draft capital. That's a loss for me.
Just one draft pick. We're not trading away.
I think it's gonna be more than that, dude. I think the Packers want more. They're gonna want more than a first-round pick for Davante Adams.
I don't know, man.
They're already set. Once somebody's franchise tagged, isn't it like 2 first-round picks or something like that? Isn't there like automatic compensation for a guy that's tagged?
You can negotiate it, I think.
Well, that's the only way you can trade for him. Because otherwise, he's gonna be a free agent. You won't have to give up anything.
I agree. Look, Green Bay is looking to rebuild as well, so who knows? Who knows what we can do? But I mean, you know what? I'm super positive with this offseason. Who knows what's going to happen? But again, my joy is that I'm seeing the Bengals, a team that I grew up knowing that they were worse than the Jets, made it to the pinnacle. This gives me hope that shit can turn around in one off season. It can happen. It's not just a folklore. It can happen. Why not us? I'm going for the Bengals this week. You know, I'm going. I want to see them win. I'm living vicariously through them, and I'm going for them. I'm going for them Tigers, man.
Me too.
Year of the Tiger.
I completely agree. Ted, thanks for calling, man. We appreciate it.
Hey,
have a great one, fellas.
You too. Have a good night, man.
Yeah.
All right. We'll go to our good friend Afram. See, now we got all this chaos, all these takes, all these blistering takes and arguments. And you know, the weird thing is once Tyrone came on, all the arguing started. You notice that?
I did.
Why is it
the minute you came on, the arguing started on the show. The minute you came on.
Hey.
Don't act all calm and quiet. It must be the diet you're on, man. You came in, you brought all your aggressiveness into.
I get paid for controversy, baby.
You do. That's true.
Listen. You're the one that cut Steve off. Steve was like, "You kick me on this podcast."
Well, it's almost like he dared me, dude. He's like, "You're not gonna cut me off," like it's his show or something. Get out of here. Terrible shit. All right, Mr. Afram.
Good evening, gentlemen.
I can hear your dog playing with his toy.
Yeah, he's over there. He's playing with his toy. The whole place is full with his toys. Prime time.
What's up? We can talk salary cap.
There's
no. Wait, hold on. Hold on.
Let's say first.
Preface this. So Tyrone, what you missed is these two have a little dispute now because Afram is our salary cap guy. He's our finance guy, the official Let's Talk Jets finance guy.
Okay.
Primetime questioned him, which is crazy. Afram corrected him, and now we got beef here.
Well, I think it's not a correction. He looks at it as that we agreed the number is the same, but I'm looking at it as if you're not on the team, you're a free agent. Signing guys back on doesn't make a difference to me. He was looking at re-signing guys back, and then whatever was left goes to free agency. I look at it as it's a business. Hey, balls.
So
I think he gets a kick out of that too.
He does. He loves it.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this then: out of all of our free agents, how much money do you think they're actually going to allocate towards guys that they want to bring back? Between like Crowder, possibly any guys on the defensive line like Shepard, Fadukasi, are you bringing them back? Marcus May, Crowder, Berrios. Out of all those guys, how much money do you think they're going to spend? He has a good chance to coming back. But even Tyson's boy Pinheiro, he's a free agent. Mike White,
legend.
You need a backup quarterback. McDermott, Tevin Coleman, Joyner,
but
Tyler Croft.
But what happens if there's another guy that they've deemed better in free agent and outside our own guys, and they can get him slightly cheaper, and is a better player? You know what I'm saying? So they're going to look at both ends of the field. Right now, I think we're 48 mil. I'm looking at right now maybe another 10 added to that. Subtract 20 for the draft. So you're
who are your cuts? Are you cutting Rankins, McGovern?
No. What was it? Griffin 3, GVR is another 3. That's a 7.
Griffin's about like 2.5 or 2 million, something like that.
Yeah,
Van Roten's a little over 3.
Ty Johnson. There's a little group there that brings you about $10 million. As far as
I was going with even more than that. I assume that they're going to get rid of Rankins, and then if you add in,
you could.
But they could add a legitimate 15 to 18 million on top of that.
Rankins is going to be dependent on. Rankins gives you only about 5.5. I don't know where they gave $9 million getting back from Rankins. Rankins only going to cost you is going to save you 5.5. It's $750,000. That's dead money to you. And there's no post June 1st deal. That's it. 5.4 million is his hit. Is the savings we get back for Rankins.
All right. So Rankins is 5.4. Van Roten is 3.5. Griffin's
the big number.
3.
The big number is McGovern, which is
and
basically almost
even
$10
Justin
million.
Hardy's another 2 million. Yeah.
2.5. Yeah. 2.5. Yeah. I don't know.
And that could come after the draft too. If they get a guy like Linderbaum, then McGovern could be gone after that.
Exactly. So no, that's the tipping scale is if they go after center, do you keep McGovern for the one year he has left? I'm also looking at the fact that I'm thinking there's going to be a lot of restructuring done on the higher contracts. Mosley, maybe 2 or 3 million. You know. But
what do you do with Fant? Are you considering Fant getting an extension?
I would consider Fant an extension, and then maybe lower his salary. Anyone thinking about trading for Amari Cooper, forget about it. You're going to absorb $22 million a year? No, it ain't happening. Forget about it. Yeah, you let him cut. He's going to get cut. If he gets cut post pre-6-1, it's $16 million savings for the Cowboys. After 6-1, it's $20 million savings. Oof. Yeah. So guess what? He's getting cut after 6-1 because they're $25 million over the cap right now. So yeah. So because guess what his salary is next year? It's $22 million. Oof. And the year after that is $22 million. So it's basically $20 million base, $2 million prorated. So
no, sir. No, sir.
Goodbye.
No, sir.
Yeah. As far as Berrios, listen, do I pay Berrios $6 to $7 million, or do I pay Crowder 1 year $4.5 million? Who's the better receiver?
Crowder.
Thank you. End the story. Goodbye, Berrios.
Wow.
It's better pure receiver, yes, but
I'm your finance guy. I have to look at it as a finance guy. So.
Better pure receiver, yes. Does he fit the offense better than Berrios? Can he do more than Berrios? And can he stay on the field? I think that's another thing with Crowder. He's had injuries throughout his entire career.
That's fine, but if it wasn't for these other
and he's not special teams
wide receiver, do you see Berrios on the field?
Nope.
But again, when he got that opportunity, he made the most of it. So I mean, is that what he's capable of doing with a larger sampo? I mean, only they know that. They're the ones that see him in practice every day. So
do you sit Corey Davis and let Berrios play instead of him? Because he's going to be on that field.
So is Elijah Moore.
And so is Elijah Moore.
Yeah, you can rotate guys in and out. It's not like they're all going to be healthy for all 17 games.
I didn't see much rotation.
I wouldn't count on that.
I didn't see much rotation in the offense. I think they put their guys out in the field.
And I think somebody even mentioned in the comments, like, why not use Berrios possibly out of the backfield too? Yeah, he's got enough versatility. You can move them all around.
Now he's a running back?
He's not Debo. He's not Debo.
Why can't you put him in the backfield as a running back where you put a linebacker?
You could do a lot of things,
but that's a mismatch. Him coming out of the backfield as a running back, pass catches.
It's a mismatch for a linebacker.
You guys want a tight end?
He's on special teams doing kick returns.
You guys want a tight end? You want two tight ends?
Where's he more likely to get his head taken off?
That's a running back.
Yeah, you got.
It's a mismatch against.
How many guys are you going to put on the field? How many guys can you put on the field at one time? You still have to have a front line.
You got Davis, you got Moore, and then
what else about tight ends
right now? We don't really know.
Tight ends you got to worry about. You want to put you guys want tight ends on the field. Now you want Berrios on here. You want this.
Yeah. I like having depth. I like having options.
Well, guess what?
Get cheaper ones.
Get cheaper ones. Is right.
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
So after the money allocated to the draft, what are we left in free? What
right now, if we just stay without rankings, I think it's like 37 million.
37 million.
So you're going to be looking at second tier signings. He's not breaking the bank for any.
Yeah.
I don't see him going anymore. If anything, it may be a $12 million, $13 million contract, if at all, and that would probably be for Schultz if they still. I think he gets tagged myself, but because they can play around with that, I just think that he's young enough. Or the 20. What is it? Amari Cooper's 28, going on 29. You're not holding on to that salary. So they can keep the franchise the kid. He's 25. So you're going to look at Njoku, maybe OJ Howard, if you're going to go and see what they're going to, what they bring. You also got to see how many teams actually need a tight end as well. We're one. Yeah. How many other teams are looking for tight ends? You know? As far as the draft, I can look at mock drafts left and right. I'm telling you, I think this is.
Well, actually, I'm sorry. I got one more question for you.
I'm sorry.
No, so going back to C.J. Mosley's contract, I think we could all agree he played pretty well last year, but he still makes a lot of money. So what would you do with his contract? You would extend him, or how would you restructure
I don't
his
know.
contract?
We can get rid of him after next year.
You can, right?
Yeah, I think he's a very low hit on the side, maybe $1 million, $1.5 million.
So he's out then.
Yeah. And I think, what is he, 29? 1 second.
So basically, you're saying the only way we'd extend him is we want to keep him next year. So you're basically saying let him play his current contract now, and then.
Yeah, I don't know if is there. I didn't research this, but if you extend his years, you don't have to have him on the team per se. Or do you have to have him on the team regardless? To like, if you extended his contract an extra year, but not having to be on the team, where you stretch out that payment,
right,
and lower his salary. I'm not sure you can do that. I know you do it in baseball.
Usually that would increase the cap hit.
Yeah, it's usually more guaranteed money now or something like that.
Yeah, but I mean, if you stretch it over a period of time, because 2023, we're going to be at about 150 million because of a lot of guys that if we don't hold on to them, like Lawson,
or
Davis,
Quentin Williams,
there's a lot of money there. But you've got Douglas is building on the draft. He's going to get guys, the veterans possibly, but don't look at guys, not with $37 million.
Yeah.
I like Linderbaum, but
at 4, you ready?
Here's the thing. No, I can't see it at 4.
I want to see it happen. Just see Tyrone's reaction.
What I can see is if Hamilton falls at 4, then you could possibly trade down because someone might be interested to come up for him. He might be a fit at a team that really needs somebody at that position that would make it better. And you can go down and collect some draft capital and move down in the draft. As far as 10, I don't see anyone coming up. I mean, if anyone's going to come up for a quarterback, it would be Washington, but they pick 11, and they know we're not picking a quarterback.
Yeah.
So who's behind them? Who's behind Washington that's looking for a quarterback at that point?
Well, Carolina's looking for a quarterback.
Carolina's at 6. Carolina's at 6.
No. That's what I'm talking about. Carolina, Washington could come up to get in front of Carolina, so they can come up before.
Yeah, but that would go to the Giants, and the Giants would have to give up one of their picks. So now, do they get more draft capital? Because they really need to build an offensive line. They got a lot of offensive holes and some defensive. But after that, I mean, you look at the Denver, might want to look up. But let's be honest,
Steelers need a quarterback.
Yeah, do any of these guys actually impressed you? Really impressed you?
See, I haven't even watched quarterbacks. I just know we don't need one, so I don't even care.
I mean, the guy in the Senior Bowl.
He looked good.
Who will
running around and stuff he did,
as a
but
mobile quarterback? Yeah.
It
seems like a lot of the scouts are saying Pickett was really the only guy that impressed throughout the week.
And if that, and it's just it's not as talented as last year's draft, so it's going to be hard to trade from 4 and from 10. So I mean, I like the kid. I like the guard. I would grab the guard if Thibodeau doesn't fall to us, and I don't know how Thibodeau is going to fall to us either. I mean, there's these rumors. I don't believe half of what.
But the only thing that is weird. Yeah, that's what I was saying. You can be one starting them because the one thing the Jets keep saying is they want guys that love the game of football, and the rumor out there is that he doesn't love the game of football, which is, to me it's just funny.
Yeah, when did this happen? All of a sudden.
Yeah, it's just,
all of a sudden he sat down and said, "I don't love the game that much."
Yep.
Then why enter the draft at that point? Come on.
It's just weird.
Yeah, it's always someone has to say something.
Yep.
Smoke and mirrors.
It's exactly. And this thing with Salah, with Joe talking to Penning, that could just be a ruse to say, hey, this guy's looking to grab this guy. He may be looking to trade down. Let's see if we could trade up for somebody. Who knows?
But I mean, Ephraim, the funny thing is that it's that, dude, they're there. Saleh and his staff are there. Joe Douglas said they're there to help coach the players and guide them through the Senior Bowl. That's their fucking job responsibility, to talk to the players when they're there and guide them, give them insight. Hey, man, here's your interview process. Here's what you should do. Work on this, work on that. So, like, obviously they're going to be talking to the player. That's what they're supposed to be doing. It's like the Lions. I'm sure the Lions did the same exact thing to every player there. It's why everybody's trying to tie 2 and 2 together. I find it just comical. It's like just chasing stories.
I think the picks in the 2nd round and to the 5th round, there's a lot of good players. There's a lot of good players. Now, if I can hit on 10 with the kid Johnson, the edge,
Jermaine,
you're taking him at 10.
Jermaine
he's moving up. He's moving up. He's Because the other one I was thinking of is Ojobu, but they say he has a high ceiling. But and it's like all of us, we're guessing.
Yep.
It's gonna come down with this particular draft. It's coming down to the combines to see what they could actually do. Their numbers are gonna tip the scales.
We just can't. We just gotta wait till Tyrone watches the tape. Is really all we gotta do.
Well, listen, Tyson. One thing that the Jets were doing a lot at the Senior Bowl, they were doing a lot of drills, and someone was talking about the Jets are doing an extreme. Listen, you think that's by chance? Listen,
no, it's smart.
Exactly. Listen, I'm hoping they use this as deep down research. That's why I say Joe D's going to move back. Listen, a lot of players there you can have in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th round. They can come in. Listen, and the one thing I say about Joe D, like last year, I know he didn't do it the first 2 years, but last year, he found gems in the 4th, the 5th, you know what I'm saying? Even into the 6th, man. Listen, Michael Carter, bro, listen, the running back was what? Senior Bowl last year.
No, it was a great opportunity for him, but I just find it funny because it's great for the organization as a whole to get in front of the players. Also sell your program to these players. But listen, this Jets coaching staff is really cool. Players talk, words going to travel. It's all good things. But I just found it funny, like any photo op with a Jets official next to a player, Jets are interested. Like that's their job to be there. Like they're on the side with the players. That's what they're supposed to be.
Exactly.
And also, listen, guys who don't get drafted though, undrafted free agents, you know what I'm saying? That might not make it. Yo, listen, we ought to report with you. I liked you there. You didn't make it. Listen, son, come on in.
It's a great opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, tight end. I there's a lot of good tight ends in this draft.
It is. That's what I'm saying.
Do you like Trey McBride, Afram?
But I tell you something. What's his Ruckert moved
Ferguson?
up in Ferguson's good. Ruckert has picked up some movement because he's playing. He's getting a lot of vision as far as his size, a true 6'5", 250-pound tight end who can catch and block. And he wasn't used as much in Ohio State because they had other weapons. The wide receiver, like they said, if any of these wide receivers were from the last year, they wouldn't even be picked in the 1st round. So let's take this with a grain of salt. There's a lot of good. Listen, that kid Christian Watson looked good, and he's got size.
Yeah,
he's got good size.
Yeah, he does.
He did real good.
Our offense, the way LaFleur is playing, if Berrios looked good, I think these guys in the low end can look just as good
and cheaper.
And cheaper. So let's
adios Berrios.
Adios Berrios. But remember, 2022.
That's right.
Say it.
You're the Jets.
You're the Jets. Enough with this negativity.
It's Tyrone's fault. We were all in a good mood till he came
on. What happens if Wilson does this? Wilson does this.
Well, what happens if does that?
Yeah. Listen. I think we build an offensive line so we can run and control the time of possession. That's how we win games as well. We control the time of possession. And I want to see a running game because you got a good running back. I don't want to be slinging the ball, 50 times a game. I want to have the option. They don't know what we're going to be doing. So you're going to have a good running game. And the kids got to learn to get rid of the ball faster. And all of a sudden, you've got a balanced offense.
I got a question.
Yes.
What do you think about the Jets taking a running back? Say the kid from Michigan State is there in the 2nd round pick too. What's his name, prime time?
No. The answer is no.
Well, okay.
Running back out of Michigan?
Any one of the top 3 running backs.
I barely studied running backs.
on my list.
I would take a running back later in the rounds because there's a lot of good running backs. I can take a guy like Jerome Ford from Cincinnati, who's a big body. That's what I want.
Hassan Haskins, is that who you're talking about? Or Blake Corum?
No, Hassan Haskins is
Haskins gonna go. Yeah, Haskins gonna go later. He's gonna go. Like
much later. Yeah,
it might be Michigan State prime time. Michigan State.
Hall. I mean,
that's a big difference.
Breach Hall or some Breach or something like that. Breach or something.
Michigan Central,
Michigan area.
Central Michigan.
Yeah.
Kenneth Walker. That's right. Are you talking about Kenneth Walker?
Yeah, yes, sir. Yo, so if he's there in the early second round, you wouldn't take him? Great running back.
I have a starter. I need someone to complement him.
Got Michael Carter.
You know,
give me a bruiser.
Michael Carter.
But listen,
and a bruiser is right. You need a big guy who can come in.
If we fix our line, we want to control the game. You know what I'm saying? Makes it easy for Zach, tight end, get running game.
Yeah, but you also want a guy on 3rd and 1 who could just plow right through.
Yeah.
And continue the continue the drive. You know, you
especially when the defense is tired in 3rd, 4th quarter, wear them down.
Exactly, and that's how do you tire them? Time of possession.
That's right.
You know, that's the bottom line. But guys,
Afram,
I hope I relaxed you. I hope I've taken the
and you corrected prime time, which is always good.
No, we agreed on the money.
He got you back in order. That's good.
By the way, your last video, what was it? The parsnips, or what was it?
The Brussels sprouts.
Right. That was good.
Look good, right? Look good, right?
Yeah. 2022. You're the Jets. Stop with this stupid negativity. My God! Before all of a sudden, what happens? This, what happens? That? What happens if there's a sinkhole during the game? You know.
That's right.
Come on. Let's be positive. Let's go into this year with
good night, man.
positive. Have a good one. Be well.
Have a good night.
Oh shit.
Hold on.
All right.
So Sasha's got to redeem himself this year. Just real quick, because I was going back looking at some of the old draft videos that we did.
Mm-hmm.
He was all about our boy Ashton Davis when we took him in the 3rd round. He was selling us big time on Ashton Davis. So Sasha's got to redeem himself this year.
John, thank you guys for joining us, man. We appreciate it. The creeper roommate, we took care of him. Don't worry about it. So, and you were our first call that had 2 people on it, so it's even better. That was fun. So we got. Yeah, Tyrone, your screen looks crisp. Your lighting's perfect. What happened over there?
I mean, I'm working on it, baby. Yo, listen, working on it, baby.
You're making moves over there.
Hey, listen, man. I got one more I want to get that's really gonna illuminate things. But you know, we're gonna check from the boss, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, just go ahead.
Wait with my check, shit.
Hey, listen. You know, next week I have to be in Texas. I fly to Texas Sunday. Actually, it's bullshit, but so I'll be at a nice little Dallas hotel doing a live stream. So.
So we're getting a Texas version of Tyrone next week?
Yes, sir. I gotta be there, buddy.
Well, that should be interesting.
Yeah.
Tyrone's making moves here, man. You guys don't need me anymore. You guys can do this. I can just hang out and relax.
Listen, when Tyson cuts the check, baby, you know what I'm saying? He said, look, I do a video, check go higher. So you know what? Look for more videos from Tyrone. I'm just letting y'all know. Don't be surprised.
Well, you took 2 months off, so I mean, it's got you're catching up now.
Hey, how y'all feeling the hoodie though? Y'all loving this?
I know this is some shit, man.
Black one's still my favorite.
Yeah, black one's nice.
The black one is crazy, bro. I got y'all's coming though, so I'm always working on this.
This is the question, Primetime. You ready for this? When is Tyrone's channel coming?
Come on, man. Look, this is
He's probably already recruiting Panda and Steve.
You know I'm not gonna do
Todd
that.
Talks
Right
Jets.
Let's
Here
talk
it comes.
Jets,
Everybody's saying it. Yep.
Oh man, listen, I would never do that, man. Never do that. Loyalty
All right.
is everything, man.
Now we have our biggest celebrity on the channel, easily the biggest celebrity. But now he has a big competition coming up. So Tyrone, there's a little bit of bad blood here now with our next guest because Kevin and our next guest have a rap battle coming up. A lot of shit talking going back and forth. A lot of shit talking going back and forth, man. And Primetime isn't pulling any punches either. Primetime's been getting kind of like a little bit aggressive with him now.
Primetime, you've been practicing Primetime. You've been in the bathroom.
Oh, I'm ready. I've been spitting bars. Like on my lunch break, I'll just go in my car. I'll start spitting bars. Like, you have no idea.
Okay, well, you know, listen, Jose. Listen, you know Jose gonna listen. You know Jose gonna bring that though. I'm just saying, man. I
know he's gonna bring it.
Yo,
I just don't think he's ready for what I have in store.
What's up, man?
Tyson,
yo,
you better not go anywhere. Otherwise, this show gonna be 3 hours every week.
yeah.
I know. I saw that.
Jose,
I
I said the same thing, bro.
I'm like, what the hell are these idiots
Hey.
doing? Like 3
We're
hours?
2:15 right now. You told me 9:30 would be done. We're approaching it anyway. So
When I got on, I told PT, Tyson Gunn, he has a question. What are we doing here?
what are we doing here? Yep.
Exactly.
I saw the timeout. I'm like, holy shit.
Oh.
I'm a man of the people. That's why. Man of the people.
I
Yeah, we'll go with
charge. Listen, Tyson didn't get my bill yet. He didn't get the bill yet, buddy. Trust me. I charge for extra. Fuck that.
I'm blocking your
shit.
ass.
Hey. Tyson,
Yo, sir. Yes, sir.
just remember one thing.
Yep.
Potential works cheaper and harder.
So, Jose, you've been practicing, man?
Yes,
You ready?
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You said you have a new song that you're gonna do now?
Yeah. Lose yourself. Lose
You
yourself.
don't- Okay.
Lose yourself.
Yes.
There you go.
While he stands
No,
up,
no.
notice that this man did not have his hands up.
Oh.
No,
boy.
Hey, listen.
I'm starting 8 Mile shit.
I'm letting y'all know, right? Listen.
Hey.
I'm definitely judging y'all for creativity,
Primetime.
skill
Yeah,
level.
he should be the judge.
Straight facts,
Primetime.
man. I'm letting y'all know.
All right, you can be the judge. I'm
just saying. I'm just letting y'all know. I don't want to see no bullshit.
Primetime. Sam
What's up?
Darnold's got you gassed up. Now who's afraid of the big bad one? 1, 2, 3 to the 4.
How could 6 dicks be pussies? Let's go, man. Let's go.
I don't
Just
know.
so you know, if you YouTube Eminem's top 10 fastest verses, the song that I'm gonna do is in there. Just so you know, that's where I'm going.
I'm ready. So who goes first?
What kind of rap battle y'all doing when y'all ain't rapping?
What do you mean?
I don't know,
We
man.
are.
So
We're picking
we doing
Eminem
the verses. We verses. Y'all gonna do y'all gonna do Eminem verse?
Yeah, that's what he wanted to do. So I'm like, all
Yeah,
right, we'll
I'm
do
doing
that.
both of you motherfuckers, man. I'm doing both of y'all.
Oh, you want to join in? You want to join
I
in?
thought y'all was free. Listen, man. Listen, bro. Listen. Y'all ain't even on my level. I don't rap. I'm retired.
Whoa.
I'm a spectator.
Wait, so you can freestyle?
One day, man, I
spit some
might
bars,
bless
right?
you
Spit
with.
some bars.
One day, I might
Spit
bless
some
you with a
bars.
few bars.
Hey,
Man. I just
hey,
might
bars.
bless you. One day
I
with
want to
bars,
see
man.
that. I'd actually
Spit some
pay for
bars
that
while you're
shit.
driving cars from Mars. Let's go.
Hey,
Let's go. Spit some bars. Let me hear it.
I'm a rock guy, man. I'm off this channel.
Yeah, I'm a spectator.
hey, Tyron, I got a quick 8 bars for you right
Uh-oh.
now. PT's failing me. It's fair.
Spam? Like the ham?
Last year, this wanted to be Eminem was trying to be the son of Sam. Or maybe the wife of Sam.
I was pushing for Sam way too much last year. That was my bad.
Yes, you were.
That's all I got.
That's all you got.
That's all I got off the top of the dome. But,
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
But which one of us is going first?
I should be paid more to listen to
You
this
go
shit.
first. You go first.
No, I'm a gentleman. I was taught lady.
Since when?
I was
Oh,
taught.
wow. Oh,
was taught
I'm a
ladies first.
gentleman. Oh,
I
my
was taught
goodness.
lady. I was taught ladies first.
Woo.
So
You want me to go
from
first?
that,
You want me to go first?
Ah.
Because then you're going to be like that dude in the T. You're not going to have any words to say. Everybody's just in the chat. They're just going to be like this, and you're just going to walk off, and that's it.
ladies
Damn.
first.
If you want me to put you away right away,
Ladies
I'll do
first.
that. I wanted you to get your
Ladies
time so
first.
that I could respond. But if you want me to go
Ladies
first, I'll go first. If you want me to go first, I'll go
Ladies
first.
first.
All right, prime time's going first.
Wow, ladies
All right,
first.
it's fine with me.
The
Fine with
risky
me.
maneuver.
I'm a gentleman.
Fine
I
with
let
me.
ladies go first.
The risky
Fine with
maneuver.
me.
It's a risky maneuver because if prime time lights it up, you have a lot of pressure to perform, man.
I got it.
Just like when Eminem went first, man. Didn't work
Hey,
out.
Jose,
Yeah,
you ever heard when Jay-Z was talking about DMX and he was like,
Yes.
yo, doom, doom. He was like, he said
Yes.
the crowd went crazy. He was like, yo, I gotta go in that shit.
Tyron, the story is they were both on pool tables. rapping against each other, having a rap battle against each other. That's what you're talking about, right?
No. I seen that one. I seen that one. That was nasty. They were nasty too. But now I'm talking about when they was on tour together and X went out first.
Oh yeah.
And just took the whole the whole crowd. He said,
Yeah.
He was like, he said, he had him laughing. He said, had him crying. He said, how can I compete with that shit? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I remember that. I know that story. That's why I'm going second. That way
it's gonna work out for you, man.
Prime time. He was like, I want to let the ladies go first.
Let me go.
It's like you won the toss in overtime, but you're choosing to defer. It makes no sense.
Ooh, wow.
So, hey,
Where are you at? Where are you at, Jose? You're in Southern California?
Crenshaw, California.
Yep. Alex, he's out there with you.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, see, now you got, Alex, what you got to do is you got to subscribe to his YouTube channel, though.
You got you another one.
Yeah,
except when he streams against us.
I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do it. I'll be here. I'll be here with you guys. I'll be here.
Mm-hmm.
I will.
Okay. So they said, Jose, why would you want to go on second? You won't get the ball if Primetime scores in his first possession.
Because,
Because shots fired, baby. Shots fired.
Do I get to respond to that question?
Of course. This is your show. We're just here to get along.
The Bengals lost the toss. They created a turnover.
This is true.
And won the game.
You're gonna be the Bills. Sorry.
Oh.
You're gonna be the Chiefs.
Oh.
You're gonna be Bills Mafia. Yeah, but I'm gonna be the Chiefs in the game against Buffalo. Yes.
So Tyson's little hostility on the show, baby.
I'm just trying to get along around here, man.
Are we taking wages on the winner? That's all I'm asking. You know what I'm saying?
I'm betting on Jose.
What are the odds? What are the odds?
I'm taking Jose on this. Doesn't matter the odds. Jose's winning this shit.
Okay.
This will be a slam dunk.
Tyrone, who you got?
I'm gonna have to rock with prime time, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to take, you know what I'm saying? I think PT gonna go ahead and bring that fire, man. You know what I'm saying? Nope. Look, PT really be that work practice. He ain't teaching the kids nothing. In prime time is teaching your child. Trust me, your inner room is gonna be an F. He in the bathroom every day, like you gotta lose yourself. I mean,
the only thing I'm a little worried about.
No, that's me when I wake up.
Prime times to get too drunk and forget his words.
I'm not gonna forget the words. But this requires like certain breathing techniques in order to get all the lyrics in at the right time. So if I have too many techniques,
Jesus Christ,
it could be a problem.
Breathing techniques talking about now.
I'm rooting for Jose.
Once you hear,
he's talking about shit.
Tyson.
Yes, sir.
I did hear that song you asked me to listen to.
You like it?
I found it hysterical.
There you go.
It was a great spoof of 80s music.
I told you.
Oh yeah.
See, I'm here for you,
Shout
man.
out to Tyson.
That's why I'm picking you, man. I have complete faith in you. Prime time will be too drunk. He'll crack by the pressure, and once he starts rapping, the chat will distract him. He'll make a complete mess of it.
I'm not even looking at the chat. I'm not even looking at the chat. I'm covering my screen.
I'll keep it up, though. Don't worry.
That's fine. I'm going to cover my screen. I'm going to cover my screen, so it's fine.
Jose, you talking about trash over here, Jose.
Trash,
man.
And yes, Trav.
And you know what? And prime time. He's already pulling an Adam Gase. He's already talking about the breathing technique is going to be difficult. He's already putting the excuses already out in the environment. It's already out there.
No, I'm just showing how I'm actually working on these things in practice. We're making sure we get it right for Sunday. What's up? What's up?
You see me in a wheelchair, right?
Yes, I do.
Do I use any excuses? No.
No.
Prime time.
But I'm trying to go like I'm going faster than Eminem on this. Like that's my goal. And this is already like one of his like top 10. I'm trying to crush this.
We lost Tyrone.
No doubt.
Can I guess what?
Yo, can you hear me?
You're all dark. You lost your light.
Yeah, you lost.
No. I'm out
Perfect way to end the stream.
Oh, Tyson. I just got that book on Audible.
Oh, Can't Hurt Me? It's excellent, man. It is so good.
So
highly recommend it.
Shout out to you guys. What do you guys have winning?
Bengals.
I'm going Rams.
Tyrone, you.
Tyrone's buffering, I guess.
Well,
Who knows?
if you guys want to know who I am, you'll
Yes.
find
We have to tune into your channel, right?
Friday night.
Well played.
Friday night.
Well played.
Friday night,
Gosh.
people. Friday night. Guy,
Have a good
Thanks
night,
for
man.
having
Thank you
me.
for calling in.
love you guys.
Love
See
you
you
too, man.
Sunday.
Yes,
Be good,
sir.
man.
You too.
He's gonna whoop your ass.
No.
Whoop your ass.
Nope.
All right. Thank you guys for joining us. We definitely appreciate it. It's been fun. Thank you, Tyrone, even though he can't hear us. And we'll talk to you guys on Sunday.
Have a good night.